And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Korean StarCraft League. Week number 35. The KSL is upon us once again! Exclamation mark B. In the chat, if you guys want to have a look at the back of yourselves, we have quite a stacked tournament here tonight. The best of the best is going to be duking it out here in Korea, and even some non-Koreans as well as we dive into our first series. Oh, that is not random. Hold on, there we go. We have our first series here for you tonight. It is a PvP between Creator and Firefly. Let's go, Poppy, let's go. Again, a lot of really good players are here tonight. We've got Hero, we got Classic, we got Dark, DRG, Nightmare, Gumiho, Oliveira, Cure, to name a few, and counting. And yeah, we'll kind of go over the bracket itself once we do wrap up this series so we can catch up with everything that has been going on. But until then, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Club NV. It is Creator. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Chinese Protoss. We have the star of WTL. Was once a starving camel, not starving anymore. Now on the Platinum Heroes, it is Firefly. There we go. Once again, Firefly, he's been popping off there in WTL. He's taken maps off of all the big names this season. Firefly, one of the few this season to take maps off of Serral. He took maps off of, I want to say, it was Serral, Clem, and Solar, I believe. Solar most recently. So again, Firefly, he's always one that can take it to the best of them. And something else that he can do in individual leagues, I always talk about how he's such a he's such a preparation-based player. He's always coming in with specific builds and specific strats, and he pops off in a league format like WTL. You know, he's the ace player of the Platinum Heroes. But here in the individual leagues, he does struggle a little bit more when he has to come up with things on the fly on a weekend tournament like this. But that is applicable to most matchups, not so much PvP. PvP has been popping off. Recently, he did defeat Hero in a best of 3, so mate, if you can take down Hero, you can take down any Korean Protoss player. So on paper, in general, I would say that Creator is definitely the favorite player coming into this, but Firefly has a chance. He has a chance to cause an upset. He has a chance to really turn the tables here and go a little bit deeper, especially with a PvP up first here in this KSL. I do want to believe. Also, for a little bit of context and to kind of whet your palates as we get into tonight's broadcast, the winner of this series faces off against Dark. Dark is waiting here in the next round, so that's kind of where this series is leading us. We have the PvP into a PvZ. Who faces off against Dark? Yet to be determined. For now, double gate openers all around. We do have a double Adept here from Firefly and double Stalker from Creator. So again, Firefly, he's looking for some economic damage. He's going to be zooming across the map with these Adepts. Interesting, he's going double Adept into double Sentry actually, so very safe play behind this. He's not doubling down on aggression. What I mean by that is that if you do want to be hyper aggressive in PvP, we get 2 Adepts, then we make 4 Adepts, then we make 6 Adepts, and you go for a Stargate behind this just to go for Oracle Harass as well. Just double down on aggression. That's not what we're seeing here. We have Adepts to begin with, and this is going to keep Creator busy back at home. But we are going for sentries behind this here for some scouting information. Sentries, they allow you to go for hallucination scouts and get a full scout of the main base. Meanwhile, Creator, he is going to be going for a slightly later expansion, going for Tech First, which is a Stargate. Stargate Oracle Opener here from Creator. So far, Firefly is not aware, but soon we should see a hallucination. We should get across the map momentarily and get a full scout and figure out what exactly is going on. But the Oracle is about to be on the way. Firefly went for a slightly faster expansion into a Twilight Council. This should be for Blink. Meanwhile, there is that Phoenix zooming across the map, the hallucination to get that scout off. The Oracle's already moving out, but we will come across the Stargate itself, and that should be a tell for Firefly to get ready back at home to get in position to deal with Oracles. There it is. There's that Stargate. We have a Void Ray second. Very interesting choice here. Very safe play out of Creator. Void Rays, they're a pseudo-immortal in this matchup. They can do... Oh, actually, we cancel the Void Ray. We do not commit. We have a second Oracle coming out instead. The Oracles, they do get across the map. There are sentries to defend in the natural. when they don't have the best DPS. As we can see here, 3 workers go down already. No entry into the main base, but this is some good damage here, especially considering 0 whole damage was dealt. At the same time, Firefly, he just continues to try to shade in. He does commit to the shade at the natural, gets 1, 2. 2 worker kills, only 2. Less than ideal, but he got something, and there was a lot of pressure here on Firefly to commit to the shade because he just lost workers against this Oracle. He had to reciprocate. He had to do some kind of counter damage. And he did. But it's not over. We do have a second Oracle. We do have a second Oracle on the way, alongside a decent amount of Stalkers as well. Going to be applying a lot of pressure to this third base. As the Stalkers distract here at the third, they drag the attention of Firefly over, and then we can have the Oracles to go into the main. Oh no! The Stalkers, they do get pulled out of position, and the Oracles, they dive on in. Workers are going to be going down. 5, 6, 7. Can we get 8? Can we get 10? Oh, we'll get 10. 10 worker kills here. At the same time, Firefly does collapse on that army, but he was forced to cancel. No! That was not a cancel. Looking at the units lost tab, that was a kill on the Nexus. Creator getting everything and more. He kills workers and he gets a kill on the third base. Typically, one of those things should have happened, not both. And now Firefly's all in. Firefly, there's no turning back from this. We got to commit. We got to go. We got to send that puppy. The sentries. 1 sentry goes down. Decent force to do trap in some of these Stalkers. We do force a fight, and 1, 2, 3 Stalkers are going to be going down. Good trades here from Firefly. He can 2-shot the Stalkers as well. 2-shotting though, it still takes a long time. Boys are being pulled. But we go straight for the kill. We go straight for the Stalkers. There's 1 Stalker left. Shield battery just about to finish. We get another warp in of 2 more Stalkers behind this. And Firefly, he does take down the final Stalker, but the warp in does complete. We still have the boys. We still have plenty of probes here as well. Reinforcements, we need them. Right now, Firefly just hyper-fixated here on the control, and he's just running out of units. He's down to 4 Stalkers. Going for a slow warp in here on the front lines. We have a gateway in the face of Creator. I mean, that was some good damage from Firefly, but this gateway, it's nowhere near being done, and it's just going to take so long here to get these reinforcements coming in. Can he still pull this off? Looking at the units tab, but Firefly, he's got 6 Stalkers, 5 Stalkers to the 4 of his opponent. We have the overcharge, and Creator, he's holding. He is holding on. Maybe if this gateway was thrown down a little bit earlier, maybe we could have seen a fast warp in and we could have broken through. But alas, with a slow warp in, it's not happening. It's not happening. GG gets called, and Creator will take game number 1. GG, well played. Again, the openers were pretty standard, and yeah, they were able to keep up with each other, but the follow-up there, Creator coming in clutch with his Oracles. Not just that, being able to get the 1-2 punch in, distract the army, pull Firefly out of position, and take advantage of him as well. Everything just, the stars aligned. Like, that was like the perfect execution, or the perfect scenario, the perfect outcome for Creator in game 1. You couldn't get better than that. GG. Just getting worker kills and getting a kill and forcing the all-in, like, getting a kill on the third base, I mean, and forcing the all-in. Just everything went right. And now we're getting into that second game. You can see here that, again, very little room for error, especially in a PvP where everything can just, you know, be very high octane and get out of control very quickly. But we'll see if we can fight back. We'll see if we can get an ace match here. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Hardlead, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Club NV. It is Creator. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss. We have the ace player for the Platinum Heroes. It is Firefly. Go. Gotta get that Institute quota in. Doctor recommend 21 hours a day. Ah, let's go. It's gotten so bad that recently, over the past week, maybe the past 2 weeks, I typically don't like dream, or at least I don't remember my dreams, but over the past 2 weeks, because of the casting marathon, I imagine, I have been dreaming and I've been sleeping and dreaming about StarCraft. Specifically casting StarCraft. It's becoming a problem. Ay, ay, ay. Even in my dreams, I can't escape the StarCraft. I want to say it's happened like 2 or 3 times so far, which is again more than I ever have. I don't think I've ever dreamed about casting StarCraft before. That's not a thing. It's been pretty intense. Pretty intense, like month of StarCraft, I should say. Oh. But for now, we do have a creator just coming in with a probe scout. Once again, double gate opener from Firefly. Likewise, double gateways here from a creator as well. Soon you'll be dreaming about casting meals. Oh, I'm going to... I'm going to be casting everything. Ay. Not like this. As really we're just waiting for the cyber cores. We have mirrored builds here so far, but we're going to be soon deviating. No, we will not. I mean, in a way we do in this series. Game 1, Firefly opened up double adept, and he didn't really get much done with it. If you remember, he got 2 worker kills in total. Now he's going to be opening up double stalker instead. Likewise, so is a creator. And this does make sense on a map like Hardlead. Talking about the map a little bit here, this is a very small map, very short rush distance by ground, so the likelihood of your opponent being all in or even being aggressive in the early game and having a proxy is a lot higher. So this is a very safe opener from Firefly, going double stalker into double sentry. Behind this, creator going for the same start as well, double stalker, double sentry all around. Again, this is kind of stock standard. This is like your most macro safest way that you can open up, making sure you have stalkers to defend, have DPS to, you know, focus whatever you can down, and you have the sentries to scout to get that hallucination across the map. And it makes sense for creators to play safe like this just because he's ahead in the series. Likewise, it makes sense for Firefly to be safe just because his opponent's up a game. The likelihood of creator going for an all-in and asserting himself is a little bit higher. Especially amongst the Korean players, it is something that happens quite often. A lot of the Koreans, they are not afraid to just throw caution to the wind and just be hyper aggressive after taking a lead. And we have our tech of choice, once again, Twilight Council for Firefly. Likewise, creator also going for a Twilight Council. Blink all around. Hallucinations are coming in, and we're just going to confirm that everything is normal and that we're doing the exact same thing as each other. Blink on the way. Likewise, Twilight Council has been spotted a little bit later for creator, a bit of a later Twilight Council, so a slightly later blink, but only by a couple of seconds, not the biggest of deals. There is like a small window, a small timing that Firefly has an upgrade over his opponents, but it's so small that it's I don't think it's going to be too impactful here. As for the most part, we're just getting into the swing of things. Got checked. I love the hallucination probe. For those wondering, if you hallucinate 1 probe, you actually produce 4 workers. And specifically in this matchup, it's great to just fan out all your workers and get a lot of scouting information in a short period of time, specifically looking for an army, any kind of proxy location, pylons, gateways. Yeah, it's really useful here. And again, mainly used in PvP. Just because hidden pylons are so common in this matchup. Here we go, third base is being taken from both players. We see Firefly rotating around towards that third base. Oh! Some misjudged force fields there. We missed the army. We don't quite catch anything. So a bit of wasted energy there. As the Firefly does back off. He's sending his sentries back home. A very mature decision. Aware that if a fight occurs, he won't be able to escape with them. As Blink is about to finish. Both players just getting into this game. We have additional tech here. We have a Forge alongside a Rover for +1 and Immortal Production, or +1 and a Warp Prism. Firefly, he faked, or he did try to push in. Didn't get much done though, as we do have a depth shading in towards the natural. Not too bad. 5 worker. Can we get 6? Up. 6 worker kills for, I believe, 2 adepts. Not too bad. Firefly, he was distracting the army, he forced a reaction out of creator, and he was able to get 6 worker kills for, yeah, 2 adepts. Very nice. So Firefly does take a worker lead. And Creator, the pressure is now on him to get damage done. He's down in the economy. In a mirror matchup is devastating. He's also slightly behind when it comes to his +1 timing as well. And his robo. But what Creator does have is a larger army. He did have an extra warp in of Stalkers. He's going to be moving out. Going to be threatening the third base here of his opponents. This is going to come down to the control to the micro of both players. Shout out to the KSL. Exclamation mark KSL in the chat if you guys want a link to the Patreon, of course. If you want to support this tournament series, the Patreon is available. So the hallucination does confirm saturation at this base, at the third. And Creator is pushing in. At the same time, goes for the same move. 2 adepts, they shade into the natural. 4 workers go down. Not as many as what Firefly got, but workers nonetheless. So players going tit for tat here. Interesting, as Creator has been able to just boost forward here in terms of that worker count. He comes back home with his army, doesn't commit. Charges on the way. We did have a gateway explosion from Firefly. Gateway's just now on the way for Creator. So Firefly, he's going to be able to hit a pretty strong timing here. +1 is done. +1 still on the way for Creator. It's late. His upgrades are late. The gateways, they just finished up in time. And Firefly, he's pushing. Now is the time. Now is the window where he is up in supply. And he can break Creator. He pushes on in. Good target firing. The shield battery goes down. There is no overcharge. Force fields are looking decent. The Zealots, they do so quite a lot of damage. There's a second shield battery, but it will go down as well. The Archons tanking so many hits. And Firefly is breaking this third base. Again, his overall upgrades, his build was a little bit more crisp. GG gets called, and Firefly, in one swift move, takes game number 2. We have an ace match. Oh. We have an ace match. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. GG. Again, there were like these slight advantages, very slight advantages that Firefly did have. Towards the end there, he did cut workers. He cut workers before saturating his third base. I want to say he cut workers at around 50. And in doing so, that's when he decided to throw down the mass amount of gateways. Again, his gateways were done, I want to say 20 seconds before his opponents, a decent chunk of time that he was able to take advantage of and just very quickly spike up in terms of the army. It was a very small window where he did have this advantage and was able to overpower Creator. GG. GG, well played. Of course, +1 as well. And with that, we have an ace match. We have a game number 3. Number 3 here on Hecate. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Club NV. It is Creator. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Chinese Protoss player, representing the Platinum Heroes, tying up the series 1-1. It is Firefly. Go. Darkness, yes. Dark is going to be next. As a reminder, the winner of this series will face off against the one, the only, the Dark, for those that are curious. But we're still here in this series, and this could still go either way. Like we've seen, again, Firefly be very promising in PvP. I mentioned before that Firefly did recently take down Hero, and in general, his Protoss versus Protoss has been on point. Overall, Creator, he is the more veteran player. He's more experienced, he's more established. I would say that Creator is still the favorite, but upsets, they happen. And how many upsets does Firefly need to cause to finally kind of get some more recognition? Because he keeps taking down some big names. It keeps happening. It keeps happening. Aye. We'll see. For now, Again, just 2 gate openers from both players. Nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. In the last game, we did see double Stalker into double Sentry. Okay, quickly. We're going to see double Adept at a Creator and double Stalker from Firefly. Hop! Oh, let's go! Double Adept. We got half of it right. I assumed that Creator would be a little bit more aggressive because he lost the last game. So he's like I would assume that he wanted to punish Firefly, but Firefly going tit for tat. Going double Adept as well. So aggressive openers from both players. Let's go. This is me just like in my heart just missing Asher. We would play this game all the time. Smurge, Buffy Smurge. Which first 2 units come out? But here we go, the Adepts are moving out. We can see that neither player is doubling down. It's going to be Adept into Sentries here for Creator and Adept into Sentries for Firefly. So we're not doubling down on a multitude of Adepts. As we do commit to the Shade. Both players do. We're heading across the map. Can we keep up with each other? Where's the Probe? Okay, we're good. Probe does move in. Adepts threaten the Shade into the main base. Creator, he does wall off. Likewise, ooh. Firefly also walls off, but he will lose one of his probes. So a slightly better trade for Creator. As Creator is slightly ahead in workers. And both players just, again, shelling away at those pylons. Stalkers are arriving. Oh, interesting. Actually, Firefly going to be skipping his Stalkers. He's going for a Robo first. Okay, just going to be waiting for that Warp Gate to finish up before getting into the swing of things. With this Robo first, this could lead into aggression. There's a couple of different ways this can go. We can go into early game Immortal production or a fast Warp Prism. And there it is. The Warp Prism is on the way. We're moving out. Back at home, Creator going for a standard opener, going for a Twilight Council instead. But the hallucination is coming in, and this hallucination should get eyes on the tech of choice. Yeah, the Stalkers do try to focus it down, but the Robo has been seen. Now, there's only 2 gateways, so this shouldn't be an all-in. There are all-in variations here where you throw down like 1 or 2 more gates, or 3 or 4 in total. You make a War Prism, you just send it across the map. To me, this just looks like Adept harass. Yeah, there we go. Adepts are being loaded in, and we're looking to try to slip into the main base and get some probe damage, while the main army stays at home. Now, the downside to this, as we get into the mid-game, means that Firefly won't have Blink. It means that his army is going to be less flexible, it's not going to be as mobile as Creator, and he's going to have to rely on a heavy Immortal army instead, because there's no Twilight Council, no Blink. Meanwhile, the Adepts, they do head towards the main base. Oh my god, they bypassed the Stalkers for a moment there, they were on move command. And probes are going to go down, the boys are being pulled, oh god. We can even go for the warp in, no shot. 8 workers go down, and we're going to get even more than that. The Prism has to be careful. Oh, taking some extra hits. But the Adepts, they do not commit to the Shade. Up! The Prism goes down. Firefly, he flies too close to the sun. He was doing so well, but losing the Prism is huge. For one big reason. With the death of this War Prism, there is nothing keeping Creator back at home. He can push out. And he can flex his Blink. Blink is about to finish, and Firefly is going to have a hard time expanding and taking a third base. Creator, he is free to take his own third. Firefly, again, going to be contained for that much longer. Hallucination comes in. Twilight Council spotted. Lack of additional gateways. We do see and do spot 2 gateways here hidden at the natural. But yeah, Creator, he is pushing out. Again, with Blink, he's free too, and Firefly is going for a 2-base all-in. It makes sense. Again, it was brutal that he lost, like, everything was going so well. He did so much damage, and then the Prism going down. And now we're doubling down here with Glaives, not Blink. We've spoken about this before, but specifically in this matchup, Glaives does not scale into the mid to late game. If we get Glaives, if we see Glaives, it's an all-in. It's going to be an all-in here from, oh god, from Creator, sorry, from Firefly. As Creator dives into the main base, sees additional gateways on the way. Will be forced back. It's going to be 6 gates in total. And we have, oh no, we have a hefty Immortal count, but a Sentry goes down. Firefly setting up a proxy across the map, just so we can reinforce. And Firefly is just being pulled apart. He just can't keep up. We spoke about it, but Creator, his army is just so much more maneuverable. We're forced to recall as well. Not like this. There's 3 more gates in production. The Immortal gets triggered. The shields get triggered even. And Creator, he's just getting further ahead in the economy. Firefly, again, he's all in. He's just completely all in with this. So, to talk a little bit about Glaives, is Adepts, they can tank a lot of shots. Adepts do a surprisingly good job at tanking Stalker and Immortal hits. As long as you have some DPS behind it, like Stalkers and Immortals, then you can work quite well here. You can achieve a lot. And here we go. We're looking to dive right on top of those Stalkers. But we have a concave set up. We have shield batteries overcharged. Immortals are on the way as well. And Firefly is just being overwhelmed. There's just too much Protoss. Too much Creator. Shield battery goes down. Good force fields. We're making it really awkward for Creator to engage, but he dives on the army. First Immortal goes down. Soon to be the second and the third. And Creator, he just has too much. And there's no coming back from this. We do get a couple of worker kills, but GG gets called. And Creator will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. And as we wrap up this series, a big shout out to J-Dolph in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing. It's been 2 years. Oh my god. It's been 2 years, Papi. 24 months. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. Always, Papi, always. Again, Firefly did well for himself, making it to the ace match. He did well at the start of the game as well, getting economic damage done, but I do believe that after Firefly lost the War Prism, that was kind of the turning point, and that was like one of the things that caused Firefly to have to go all in. After losing the War Prism, it's like, okay, there's no turning back. I got to commit, goes for Glaives. But as he was going for Glaives, as he was building up his army, we saw Creator just have his way with him, just blinking constantly back and forth towards the natural, towards the main. Creator, he did a great job, not just being annoying, not just keeping his opponent back at home, but also scouting. I pointed out at the time, the Creator, in being aggressive and going into the main, he also saw the gateway explosion. He saw the additional gateways that were on the way, so he was able to piece together that it was going to be an all-in. So that's why we already had shield batteries, we already had Immortals, we already had a concave set up prematurely from Creator. He was ready for it. He was expecting it. So very well done by Creator. My condolences to Firefly, but hey, again, did take Creator to the ace match, and I want to believe that in another world, maybe could take the series itself. My condolences to Firefly, as he will be tapping out of the tournament. It is single elimination. It's a brutal tournament. One chance is all you have. And Creator advances on to the quarterfinals. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. As we switch our scenes over to that challenge bracket. And that should also message some players. Alright, from the top, here we go. The quarterfinals is almost fully underway. From the beginning, DRG is facing off against Nightmare. I believe that is being casted by Enki in Spanish. Oh god, Vitos are done. The Vitos are done. One moment. Just setting things up. Beautiful. Okay, so I believe DRG versus Nightmare is being covered by Enki and some of the other casters. Winner of that goes into Hero, so a pretty juicy ZVP, to be honest. Looking pretty damn good. Just underneath that, we have Gumiho versus Oliveira in a TVT. A pretty spicy TVT, might I add. It's always amazing watching Bjorn or Oliveira against another Terran player. They're very active, they're very high-paced players, so, you know, not your standard TVT is what I'm trying to get at. Very, very high active play there, so it's gonna be fun. Scrolling down a little bit further, we have our series. Creator took down Firefly. Creator, he goes up against Dark, and Classic took down Hot Mono. Classic is facing off against Cure. And here we go, spawning in the top left hand corner of Hardlead, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing CranKy Z Gaming. He has been patiently waiting, and the Vitos was done so quickly. I had very little time to very quickly go over that bracket. But we have representing CranKy Z Gaming, Dark. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Club NV. Just took down Firefly. It is Creator. Here we go. I must sleep. Good night. Good night, Slowpoke. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for coming first. The first to come and the first to leave. Oh. I joke, Papi. I joke. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good night. But predictions will be open for the semis. I typically, especially because we have very little time to get into these games, predictions will be open for the semifinals onwards. We're almost there. We're almost there. But now, hatch gas pool opener here from Dark. Everything looking standard. Pulling it back here. Dark has been very fond of proxy hatches in this matchup. Clearly, he's not doing it here in game 1, but at some point in this series, I wouldn't be surprised if he does spice things up in game number 2. Especially if Dark has some momentum. Back at home, Creator going for a standard gate expand, and I'm excited. This patch, I haven't really been able to cast much Creator. I've been focusing a lot on Hero and Classic and Hero and and Nightmare especially. We've been casting a lot of Nightmare, but I have been missing out on some Creator action. You know, I haven't been able to cover him as much as in months past, and I miss him, Papi. I miss him. So I'm really excited to see how he has adapted to the new patch and what he's been doing as well. Recently, we did in a way document that Hero has been very fond of glaive adepts recently. Been going for very varying different styles of glaive adepts, and Zerg players in Korea have been having a really hard time dealing with Hero, but Creator usually does things his own way, and he's usually a very defensive, macro-oriented PvZ player. Very, very defensive though, very akin to Showtime over in the European region. I wonder if that continues to be the case, or if he is adjusting and adapting. Across the map, we have a pylon block. Third base is delayed. Ideally, you want to delay this third base long enough for the Adept to arrive, but it is dealt with, and Dark, he can throw it down in time. The Adept gets here a couple of seconds too late, and Dark can get his third up and running. So far, everything looking as it should. He's splitting up his lings as well. 2 lings for the main, 4 lings here for the natural. And behind this, Creator is going for a Stargate opener. Stargate into Oracles. Gumi versus Oliveira on Chicken Man, and Classic Cure on Steadfast. Oh, there you go. Oh, I didn't even know Steadfast was here. There you go, Steadfast is here as well. And as I mentioned, DIG versus Nightmare is on Enki's channel. The Adepts do commit to the shade. They get a couple of worker kills. 2 workers do go down. A lot of lost mining time as well. Not too bad. Meanwhile, the Oracle is zooming across the map. It's going to be an Oracle first into a Void Ray. The Void Ray can shut down Overlords and can help hide the tech of Creator as he's taking a lot of hits. Up. He gets 2 drones, but he barely escapes with his life. Oh my god, 7 HP. Barely does escape. Not too sure if that was worth it. Did get a couple of workers, that's true, and the Oracle was technically alive, but unlikely that it's going to be able to get too much more damage. Void Ray makes it out. We're going to be hunting down at least some of these Overlords. We've got 1 here outside the natural. We've got another outside the main. Overlord won't see much. And Creator is now taking his third. Now the question becomes, what is thrown down behind the third base? Now, I'm imagining this is going to be a Forge and a Robo with a delayed Twilight Council, because that's how traditionally Creator has been approaching this matchup. Oh, and we're going for a 4-minute 30 lair timing. Oh my god. Dark, what do you have in store for us? Now, with the 4-minute 30 lair timing, this should be for a Roach Warren, momentarily for Roach speed. Gases are being taken though, and I'm curious, if we don't see a Roach Warren soon, this could be for something else entirely, as we're making more queens. Additional queens are on the way, second gas is being taken as well. We're at the halfway mark, no Roach Warren. Is this going to be a Ling Queen Nidus all in? I am curious. I mean, we're not banking up lings. No, there we go. I was like, where are the lings? Ah, there they are. They're all rallied towards the natural. This should be Nidus play here from Dark. Behind this, we have a Forge and a Twilight Council. Standard follow-up here from Creator. He's not going for that greedy style that we were talking about. The style that I'm sure Dark is looking to punish. And there it is. There's a Nidus. So Link Queen Nidus all in from Dark. Oracles, they do head into the third base. They get a couple of drones. And if Creator had decided to skip or delay his Twilight Council, he would be in a lot of trouble. Because he didn't, he does have additional gateways on the way. He may be able to muster up an army to defend. It's going to be close. Especially considering that Creator hasn't scouted. He doesn't know. He hasn't seen the gases at the natural base or whether or not they have been taken. He hasn't seen the tech of choice. He hasn't seen the Roach Warren or the Bailey Nest or anything. Here we go. Dark is on the way. Dark is on the way. We have one shield battery here at the third base. We have no shield battery here at the natural. Oracles come in, they scout. They spot the Nidus. Now Creator knows, but I mean, the Nidus has already popped up. It's already too late. The all-in has arrived. Lings, they do get a full surround. Blink is not done. Overcharge putting in a lot of work. The Baileys are waddling in. They waddle into the mineral line. They try to. Oh, into the shield battery even. And the Baileys, they will connect. Every worker's going to be going down. The Queens are waddling on 4. That is 10 Queens. That's a lot of Queens, man. The Void Ray goes down. And it looks like this third base has been broken. Now, from here, Dark has a choice to make. He can drone. He does have a Hydrogen alloy. There we go. We're droning behind this. Dark, he's content killing the third. He's waddling back. He's going to be spreading creep in every direction, making sure that it's so difficult for Creator to expand. Spreading creep towards the triangular third and the linear third. Oracles are getting ready for a counterattack, but Queens are getting in position. Another transfuse. We barely are keeping the Queens alive. But we should back off here before this army does amass a little bit too much. We can hold on for now. Observer has arrived as well. Creator, he's trying to clear up the creep, but Dark is not making it easy. Not making it easy here for Creator. Prism is on the way. We may just go for a 2-base all-in. We're on 5 gates. Back at home, the Oracles, they dive into the main base as well. They get 4 worker kills. Pretty good amount of damage. But Dark is getting a 4th up and running. Hydra range on the way. So Ling Hydra as the follow-up. The question for me becomes, is Creator going to try to expand? Or do we just send it? He is making workers and he has +2 attack on the way. Oh no! As Creator attempts to expand, but he's delayed even further. And now Dark is amassing Hydras back at home. Again, Dark, he cut workers at 3-base saturation. That's going to be 67 workers, 66 ideally. And he's just making nothing but units from here on out. Ooh, both Oracles go down. Lings, they come into deny a third base, a third that doesn't exist. We dive on the Queens. Queens are falling one after the other. Expensive losses here for Dark. The Lings, they finally do arrive. Dark taking it slow and steady. He backs off. He respects the Stalkers. He did kill a sentry. He did lose a lot of Queens, but the Hydras are coming out to replace them. And against Stalkers, Ling Hydra is ideal. The DPS is just so damn high. Of course, once we run out of Lings, we have to back off. We have to respect the Stalkers, waiting for Lings to reinforce, to buffer. And we do stutter step forward, taking down 2, 3, 4, 5 Stalkers. And a sentry. Again, good trades overall. Creator, he cannot replace these losses. Ay, ay, ay. Dark is overextending here, though. Losing a lot of Hydras here in the retreat. So a bit of an overextension, but we have reinforcements coming in. Again, Dark, he can afford these losses. He has too much. GG gets called, and Dark will take game number 1. Ooh. GG. Off of the back of that Link Queen Nidus all in. Again, It was a little bit later than we're used to. It was a 4-minute 30 layer timer. We have seen Dark go for like sub 4-minute layers just for the Nidus. So this was a little bit later, which meant that there was better saturation at the third base, but just barely, not a large enough army. Again, Creator, despite it being a little bit later, Creator, he didn't scout. He didn't see the fast layer, he didn't see the lack of gases, and he didn't see the Nidus either. So Creator, he was in the dark. By the time he saw the Nidus, it was too late. It already popped up. It already popped up outside the natural. And Creator was woefully underprepared for it. Basically, that game, it just came down to scouting. Came down to scouting there for Creator, and with that, he's going to have to try to come back, bounce back in game number 2. Here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss representing Club NV. It is Creator. I'm also pretty sure that Dark was expecting Creator to go for a delayed Twilight Council, which would have made even more sense to just go for an all-in and kill a greedy Protoss player. It was really risky what Dark did. I do think that if Creator had scouted it a little bit sooner, then he should have been able to muster up enough shield batteries, go for an extra warp in as well, and potentially hold on. I do think that he had the production capabilities for it, but alas, you know, just wasn't able to get eyes on it in time. Wasn't able to see it coming. And just like that, Dark does take a lead. And where do we go from here? The other scary thing about Dark is that he's not a one-trick pony. You know, he doesn't just have to Nidus all in you. No, no, no. He's got plenty more up his sleeve. He's very fond of mutas in the mid-game. If he can ever get away with it in ZVP, he loves going for mutas on larger maps. Not applicable to Oceanborn, but he does on much larger maps like Hecate, for example, or maybe even maybe Radisson Station. We haven't seen too much of Dark on Radisson Station. But he's quite fond of going for Ling Ultra. Ling Ultra is a very active style, and it's a way to just gain map control and to just snowball out of control as well. He was very fond of it last season on Altitude and Ancient Cistern. That's why I was trying to think there, what are the maps that are most similar to Altitude and Ancient Cistern? And my brain goes to, I guess I would say maybe Hecate and Site Delta. Those are maybe the closest to them. But even then, both Hecate and Site Delta have very certain advantages defensively that kind of deter that kind of play style. Like especially Hecate. Hecate, your 3-base setup is so well set up. So well defined. But until then, we are getting into our openers, and Creator is going for a Stargate opener once again, which is normal. It's pretty standard. Would be shocked to have seen something like a Twilight Council or a Robo. Stargate makes plenty of sense here. Now, off of this Stargate, that's where we can start deviating and kind of experimenting a little bit more. Adept is shading out. Dark getting in position. This time Dark was able to get his natural, so he's got a pretty good setup. He is pretty well fortified. Also, oh my god, my brain. How could I was trying to think of the larger macro maps. Alcyone, of course. How could I forget? But that's also, yeah, it's very defensive. Like, I don't think that Hecate and Alcyone are actually too comparable to Ancient Cistern and Altitude. They're big maps, yes, a lot of bases, but very different. They're just big, man. As the Overlord is going to go down. Going to be dying some scouting information. It is going to be an Oracle first. We have a second Oracle on the way. So this time, Creator, he isn't messing around with Void Rays, which I think is a wise choice. With these Oracles, he has a higher chance of actually scouting, getting economic damage, maintaining control of the map. He won't be able to shut down this Overlord, but he doesn't need to. As Lings are moving out, just trying to get a read on things. They do get eyes on the third base. The oracles are moving out. What is our setup looking like? Once again, this is, oh my god. A fast lair. This was a 4 minute 18 lair timing. Even faster than last game for Dark. Alright. Do we go for Link Queen Nidus again? This time, no. Link Queen Nidus all in only requires 2 gases. We take a second gas in the main, but that is a third gas in the natural. This is looking like potentially Ling Hydra. I'm curious. 3 gases is typically indicative of Hydras. We could go for a 4th gas and go for a Spire. But before we can talk about the tech, here we go. The Adepts are shading into the main base, and they do not see the lair. Creator, he is in the dark. He hasn't seen, he doesn't know. That is going to be an Evo chamber here at the natural. Additional gases are being... That's a lot of gas. Additional gases are being taken, but there's that Hydra den. We said before that 3 gases are indicative of Hydras, and it is indeed going to be that. +1 range is on the way. Very Miyamika-esque. As the Oracles, they dive into the natural base. They're going to get a decent amount of workers, and oh my god, 1 Oracle is going to go down. And we do scout the tech. Thankfully, we go into the main, we see the lair, and the Hydra den about to finish up. Ling Hydra has been spotted, immediately charged in production. I do like this. Charger Archon can have... Yeah, Charger Archon is a much better kind of transition here instead of Stalkers. Stalkers struggle a lot. They struggle a lot against Ling Hydra. Charge Archon, more robust. But we're still getting into it. Temple Archives is still on the way. Charge just started, and Dark is pushing. Remember, it was a very fast lair here, and this Hydra timing... It should be quite crisp. Quite crisp indeed. But now Ling's going to be threatening that third base. Before pulling back. Again, with all the gas we have to work with, it should just be Hydras. We shouldn't really be investing too much into Banelings. Storm is on the way. And this is going to be spotted by Dark. He does go in with the Overseer. He sees everything in the main. And Storm is a good way to shut down this army. Now, upon seeing Storm, Dark, he's got a choice to make. Either we commit or we tech up. And I would have said we tech up into a Infestation Pit, into Lurkers, into Lurker tech and Hive tech. Dark is going for a different direction. He's going for a Spire. Crazy. We're switching gears and we're going to try and get into a Spire, try and get into Mutas. We'll see if we can get away with it. Meanwhile, Prism does get into the main, but is going to be forced back. Hydras and Queens are back at him to defend. Lings are moving out to deny the 4th, but Creator's in position, and Storm is about to finish. I'm loving the second Stargate, actually. Okay, so a couple of things are happening. 1, Creator, he knows he got scattered. He knows that Dark is aware of Storm. So the logical conclusion to that is Dark teching up into Lurkers. So we're getting into Immortal production, and we're going double Stargate Phoenix, which is a good way to gain map control and to also even CC and crowd control high-tech units like Lurkers as well. So I wonder if that's kind of the thought process here for Creator. We can even obviously transition to Skytoss, which is ideal against Lurkers. Meanwhile, Dark, again, switching gears, going into Mutas. Has the Spire been scattered? Now it has. Yeah, it's been scouted. Okay. We know it got scouted. Here we go. Mutas are on the way. So the... Okay. I'm choking, but... We do have the Phoenixes that are going to be shutting down the Mutas. How many do we have? We have... Two Phoenixes. Now, we're investing quite a lot into these Mutas. 7 is like the ideal number to harass. We're going up to 11, and we're getting +1 air attack as well. Now, Dark, he does see the Phoenix production. He even comes across the second Stargate as well. Really good scouting here out of Dark. He's aware of the Phoenixes. What do we do with these Mutas? We're still looking for damage. We're going to rotate around. We're doubling down? Crazy. Dark response. I see you're going Phoenixes. I'm just going to make nothing but Mutas from here. Very bold move. Now, this can work. Mutas, they can still overwhelm Phoenixes, especially in low numbers. But with Storm to support, this feels a little bit stubborn. We'll see if it works. This is a crazy decision here from Dark. At the same time, he's rotating around with the Ling Hydra. Mutas do pull back. How many Mutas are we up to? We are up to 21, soon to be 27 Mutas. There it is, Fleet Beacon is on the way. That should be for Phoenix range. Now, before Phoenix range kicks in, like, again, you can actually out-control and out-micro your opponents and actually dive and close the distance and kill Phoenixes. You have enough DPS to pull that off. Hydras have been spotted. Gas Geyser goes down. The downside here is that Creator, he isn't being too ambitious with his Phoenixes, which I do appreciate. He's keeping his Phoenixes back at home, and he always has a Storm or an Archon to support. He's kind of avoiding or not giving Dark the opportunity to dive. And as Dark has map control, there's the Lurker Den. Lurker Den is on the way, but we're making 2 Immortals at a time. The Storms! We're getting 2 Immortals at a time. We try to bust in, but we should be denied. Cybercore goes down. We get on top of the Immortals. Big pickoffs. 1 Immortal does go down. And we can even turn around and fight this. Dark is going to respect the army though, because yeah, we got a lot more storms behind this. We got a lot more storms coming out here from Creator. He's just sending it across the map, and this is a death ball of an army. We dive on top of the Phoenixes. Most Phoenixes go down. Big storm on the Mutas. And the Lurker Den isn't ready. If we had Lurkers, then I think we can hold. Without them, this is going to be close. Mutas, once again, they try to turn around. They try to fight. Range is done for the Phoenixes. Creator is pushing. Yeah, the Queens are coming forward. Big Storm Shield on the Mutas. Once again, we dive on the Prism. But a lot of Mutas go down. And Creator, he may just have too much. He's just barreling through this army. No Lurkers, no backbone. A lot of Hydras, though. Yeah, the Muta Cloud is evaporated. You can see the Hydras are struggling. We had another Storm in the chamber. And Creator, he is busting through this. The boys are being pulled. That's how desperate Dark is being right now. But we have another Storm. I believe that's the final Storm for Creator. The Hydras are pushing forward. They're being picked up one after the other. Reinforcements are on the way. We are getting on top of some of these Immortals. Dark is forcing this back, but he has lost 24 workers. That's too much economic damage. Oh, we do get 1 Immortal. Can we get both? He wants it. Gets a sentry. Dark holds, but what is he left with here? He's down to 55 workers. He has a good base count, that's true, but he has a lot of droning to do. And unfortunately for Dark, Creator is not slowing down. We have a War Prism on the way. With the completion of this War Prism, I'm pretty sure Creator, he wants to just warp in, remax, and push as quickly as possible. Creator, he has a lot of momentum going his way. Dark, it was a bold move going for all those Mutas, but yeah, GG gets called. He's too far behind, and Creator will tie up the series 1-1. GG. For Dark, to know that he got scouted, to double down on Mutas was crazy. As we saw, the Phoenixes weren't really the issue there. It was the Storms. The Storms did so much damage to the Mutas, they just annihilated them. And without the Mutas, there was just nothing really to stop the ground army either. You saw that the Lurker Den was a little bit late. Even if we had the Lurker Den, even if we had like 4 Lurkers, Creator could have still broken through. It would have been close. It would have been very close. Just because Immortals can be quite tanky and they can do a lot of damage to Lurkers as well. That's why Creator was doubling down on Immortal production. Traditionally, Immortals are amazing against Roaches, not against Hydras. But, I mean, again, that's what Creator was banking on. He was just hoping or anticipating a Lurker transition. That's why he had so many Immortals there. He was ready for the next step. Didn't even need it. Here we go. We're getting into the next game, into the ace match between these two players, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom. Oh, let's go. We're going for a 12 pool, which means we should be sending a drone across the map. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss representing Club NV. Tying up the series, it is Creator. Here we go. A 12 pool is upon us. I mentioned before that Dark has been very fond of going for proxy hatches. And at the very start of this series, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Dark does send out or does proxy hatch at some point in this best of 3. This drone, though, is going for... Yeah, we're going across the map. Yeah. This drone is going across the map. We are proxy hatching here. So Dark doubling down here on the aggression. Again, Dark has been very fond of this. He's been doing this almost every single ZVP for the past 2-3 weeks. 3 weeks, maybe? Yeah, he likes it, puppy. He likes it. And here we go. The drone is going to be slipping across the map. We are going to be able to set up a hatchery here as a part of the wall. And Creator is none the wiser. I say that the probe is moving out, and we're going to be able to throw down that cyber core. Lings are on the way. Oh, Dark actually does throw down the hatchery. He doesn't go for the proxy. He has the drones, but he doesn't go for it. Lings are moving out, though. Here we go. We're diving on in, going straight for the pylon. There was no probe scout. Mate, the lack of probe scout is huge, actually. Pylon's going to go down. The Zealot will not finish. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I think this is why Dark decided not to proxy hatch, by the way. There was no probe scout. He takes down the pylon. The boys are being pulled. So many probes are going down already. And this is more than enough damage. Dark, he can transition out of this. He's still making links, to be fair. Pylon just now finishing up. So much lost mining time. Ah, the probes, not again. More of them get picked off. And we will eventually clean up these lings, but at what cost? At the cost of 10 probes. Dark, now he's on a pretty comparable worker count. Looking to get ahead. He's still making more lings, by the way. There's still no wall. Alright, we can't afford one. That's the problem. Like, Creator, he's stuck reprobing. And lings are coming out. There's nothing in production. Creator, he doesn't have the economy. Boys are being pulled once again. The Zealot is busy in the main. And Dark, he's just hammering down that link keys. Ay, ay, ay. Just rallying more and more links across the map. Not like this. Again, the Creator, he did do something crazy that is almost never done in this matchup, and he skipped the probe scout. Upon skipping it, it means he didn't see the 12 pool, he didn't see the late hatchery, which means he had no urgency to throw down a wall, which is why Dark didn't even need the proxy hatch. And he gets his... Oh, he's looking for surround. Not like this. Oh, he barely doesn't get it. Second Zealot is on the way. The second Zealot is out, sorry. Turning back around, but lings, they have been amassing. We have a third Zealot coming out here for Creator. But it's not gonna matter. Not gonna matter, not anymore here, as this is how the story will end for our Protoss. Pylon goes down, GG gets called, and Dark will take the series 2-1. GG. And this is a PSA. This is a PSA for Protoss players out there. Probe scout, baby. That was crazy. No probe scouts. So Creator, he had no idea what was happening. That's why his natural base was just so wide open. As typically we would even have a second gateway and a cyber core, and we would even have a probe to wall off as well, just in case. But yeah, Creator just cutting too many corners there. And to be fair, this is something that you do at the highest level, but cutting corners in the early game against Dark is crazy, because I feel like, you know, Dark has a reputation, right? Dark, he has a reputation. We even called like a proxy hatch 12 pool at the start of the series. Like he does things like this, and you gotta respect that. You gotta put some respect on the name. And Creator, he was just gambling a little bit. He was taking a risk, taking a chance. Didn't pay off in the end. Did not. The one thing that would kill you in that scenario is a 12 pool, and yeah, just happened to be that one thing. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. GG, well played. Congratulations to Dark as he does advance on, and we need to figure out the hell is going on. Oh, we have our next series. We have our next series. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. There's a Wikipedia page. There's a challenge bracket. As we do switch our scenes over. And oh my, both semifinals already. My oh my. This is going to be a quick broadcast. Let me just bring this down. There we go. Bring it down a little bit. Okay. From the top. DRG took down Nightmare 2-0. Hero takes down Dongray Gu 2-0 as well, advancing onto the semifinals. Gumiho versus Oliveira went all the way to the ace match. Oh, went all the way to game number 3, but Gumiho comes out on top. He's on cloud 9 in more ways than one. And Hero versus Gumiho is about to commence. I believe that is being covered by Chicken Man. I believe Chicken Man is going to be covering the upper semis. We are going to be covering the lower semis, as Dark took down Creator 2-1, and at the very bottom of the bracket, Cure took down Classic 2-1 in an ace match, and now we have a TVZ up next. Dark versus Cure. So let's quickly set that up as we do prepare for our first semifinals match. Beautiful. Bam. Also, because it's semifinals, predictions in the chat will soon be open. So, get ready to place your bets. Let me just quickly set up the predictions for this ZVT. Where are we? There we go. Alright, the lobby is set and we are getting into this. Let's go. If you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on how you think this series is going to go, one way or the other. Again, Cure is one of the strongest Terran players that we have to offer in Korea. He has been on the rise. Likewise, Dark, one of the best Zergs in Korea as well. Either player is worthy of making it to the finals and even becoming the champion this week, but there can be only one. There can be only one. Oh boy, best of luck. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Solaris, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Dark. Here we go. We have our Zerg versus Terran and Cure. He's going for the low ground Raxes here. I'm curious if this is going to be a Rax Factory or a 2-Rax opener. I'm imagining 2-Rax, but we'll keep our eyes on Cure. Again, he has been quite fond of going for a Rax Factory into early game Cyclones. That has been very akin to Cure, but we have the second SCV coming down to the low ground, and we should have that second Rax on the way. Here we go. So we have the low ground 2-Rax opener, the Beyond opener, if you will, or if you want to get meticulous about it, I guess an evolved and refined special opener. Dark. Oh my god. My apologies. I was focusing so much here on the opener of Cure, I didn't notice that Dark went for a gas first. Gas pool hatch opener out of Dark. Very aggressive. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. Especially if we go into roaches. We have seen a lot of roach rushes fail against 2-Rax Reaper. Especially if Cure is able to scout this ahead of time. Then Cure, he can transition into his tech labs, into his Marauder production, throw down a bunker, and he should be safe and sound. Now, this is assuming it's going to be roaches. If we have a Link Flood, then we could see something a little bit different here. Overlord is pushing out. Link Speed is on the way. We're staying in gas. Okay, there we go. We're pulling out of gas. And Dark is aware of what's going on. Now, with fast Link Speed, he can actually try and catch these Reapers earlier than normal. And because we're staying in gas, this could lead into a Link Flood, followed by a Bane Bust. And Bane Bust, they can punish this. Overlord goes a little bit further, does get eyes on the expansion, so he knows he's not being 3-Raxed. As 3-Rax variations are also quite common. Reaper does dip into the main base, and so far we do see the gases. We see, or he should have been able to click on the gas geyser as well to recognize what exactly was going on. So far, Dark, he's just droning. Link Speed still on the way. He has pulled out of gas completely. Okay. So he did mine a little bit of excess gas, and he does have enough for a Baneling Nest if he wanted to, but it looks to me like Dark, he's just transitioning, just going to be droning from here. Not really too interested in going all in. As here we go, Link Speed is about to finish up, and Dark is moving out. Now Cure, he's aware of the fast gas geyser, so he's racing back home already. Doesn't want to get caught out. Oh, Dark not quite able to catch those Reapers. And Cure will make it back home. And back at home, we have our add-ons on the way. Factory as well. We went up to 4 Reapers, a little bit more than normal. But again, because of the fast Link Speed, it looks like he's just making sure he's ready for something like a Bane Bust or like additional Lings. Oh, Dark, he's way up! He's waiting! That was so close. He was waiting for the add-on swap, and Cure, he does land in time. Whew. It's back at home. Dark is just going to be droning. Faster Evo Chamber is on the way, and that should be for +1 carapace. He's got that extra gas from earlier. And behind this, Cure is going for a 3cc 3cc 2-on-1 here from Cure. It's a 3rd CC before Starport. Lings, they try to engage, but the Hellions do zone Dark away. And Dark is in a bit of trouble here. How many queens do we have? Only 3. Uh-oh. Only 3 queens. We can dive into a mineral line. We catch a couple of transferring workers. We go straight for the drones. The boys, they have to be pulled away. God, no! They have to be pulled away. 8 workers go down. This is becoming too much. As Dark does get the surround. Does try to, but additional Hellions have arrived. Reaper does finally fall, but that's 10 worker kills. That's not an insignificant amount of damage. A good start here for Cure. A very strong start. Meanwhile, it's +1 melee, not carapace. My eyes are on Dark here. Are we going to be cutting workers? Are we going for a Link Flood? 4th base is on the way. Additional queens are on the way as well. Again, we're still working with how many? Yeah, still 4 queens. Queen count is less than ideal because of the opener. Oh, and this is brutal. That is an early armory. This 2-on-1, it's not your typical 2-on-1. It's going to be hitting with stim, with combat shields, with Hellbats as well. We already have a low queen count. 1 queen goes down. Going to be target firing some of the drones. We will shut down the Liberator eventually before getting 3 more workers. And yeah, Cure economically is looking damn good. Meanwhile, Dark isn't droning. This is what I assumed. As soon as I saw +1 melee, it's like, are we just going all in? We are. A very unique all in, but Dark, he's cutting workers at 40. He's not making any more drones, making only Lingbane. Pure Lingbane queen here from Dark. His goal here is to shut down the army, but against an armory, against these Hellbats, I'm concerned. I feel, yeah, the Baneling Nest isn't done. These Lings, they're going to do nothing against this, and Dark, he ignores it. He has to go for a counterattack instead. 4th base is going to go down. The army stims up the ramp. Baneling Nest is still not done. We have Hellbats back at home. The Lings, they struggle to break through. So many Lings. Oh my god, they get roasted. The Ling counterattack does nothing. GG gets called, and Cure will take game number 1. Whew. GG. A very chaotic game is what I will say. Very chaotic. We saw a very aggressive opener from Dark, and he was rushing into +1 melee. He was going for a Bane Bust, but Cure correctly identifying, 1, the lack of queens, and I guess the lack of drones as well. Going for Hellbats there in that situation was kind of a checkmate move. If Cure didn't have Hellbats, then Dark would have been able to achieve so much more, but again, Hellbats, they just annihilated all those Lings. Baneling Nest was done a little bit too late, and even if we had the Baneling Nest, there's no guarantee that we would have been able to bust through the Hellbats and get on top of the Marines. It was just a really awkward game for Dark, and Cure shut him down. And now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Oh, my apologies. Oh, there we go. We're getting into game number 2. And it's only a best of 3. Dark is up against the wall. Up against the wall, but we'll see if he can bring him back. We'll see if he can force the ace match. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Bottom right-hand corner of side Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player. The Red Terran representing Team Liquid, his new team. Leading the series 1-0, it is Cure. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Dark. Oh my. And this time, Cure, he is not going for a 2-rax. He's going for a proxy 3-rax here. Looking to ramp up the aggression, looking to spice things up. And I'm concerned. I'm concerned, Papi, as the Raxes are on the way. Dark is going for a hatch gas pool standard opener. First Overlord is going across the map. The second Overlord should be parked outside the base to get an eye on any kind of bunker production. A lot of it is going to come down to the placement of this second Overlord. If we overshoot, if we move out of position, then we will not see we won't see the proxy. Not referring to scouting the proxy itself, but we won't be able to see the SCVs coming in for the bunkers. And this Overlord is rallied a little bit too far forward. It's not rallied to come back. Uh-oh. Darky's going to be in some trouble. Yeah, this Overlord is out of position. So traditionally, for those wondering, with your second Overlord, you typically park it outside your natural base, just in case this were to happen. So you get to see the SCVs ahead of time, and you can pull your own drones or get ready mentally yourself. As there we go, bunkers are on the way, and Dark has no idea. He doesn't see. Now he does. The bunker has been revealed. 2 SCVs have been revealed as well. Dark, he evacuates, he gives up on the natural, he goes straight for the Roach Warren. And Cure will get a kill in this hatchery. Now, because it's a 3-rax and not a 2-rax, Cure actually has to do more than this. He has to do more than just kill the natural base. Dark going for 1 base Roach as a response is, again, very correct. It's how you deal with this, and Dark, he hasn't misinterpreted this as a 2-rax. Very nicely done. Overlord, of course, got across the map as well. Does get a read on what's going on. Cure backing off so the Broodlings don't kill anything. And now the question becomes, how long is it going to take for the Ravagers to bust out? Roaches are on the way. Ravagers soon thereafter. Dark has to be careful not to lose these Overlords as well. Oh, the Roaches, they're being camped! No! The Roaches, they barely do escape. There it is, Ravagers are on the way. And with Ravagers, Dark, he can bust out. He shouldn't just be busting out, he should also be looking to counterattack as well. Cure, he's got a tech lab. Concussive Shell on the way. He is doubling down. Cure is all in. Cure is all in. No! Dark, he wasn't looking! A bit of a late reaction there from Dark. He loses one of his Ravagers. That's brutal. Cure, he wants another one. He wants another Ravager. Ay. Again, every unit here is precious for Dark. Every Ravager especially. In this kind of game state, you need to babysit them. Oh no, the Concussive Shell is done! You can see that if he, because of Concussive Shell, he can trap a unit. He can trap a Ravager. Yeah, be careful. Sim is on the way behind this. Only 1 bunker, bear that in mind as well. Cure, he hasn't invested too much into bunker production. The Roach army is amassing, getting larger and larger. Dark, he should be able to bust out. We have, what, 6 Roaches, 4 Ravagers, a couple of Queens, Transfuse. 1 Transfuse is available. It's going to be close. And hopefully Dark can attack before Stim finishes. We bust in. We go for the Biles. Biles will not be connecting. We try to focus down the Ravagers. Alas, we cannot. Oh god, the repairs are a little bit too good, and Cure he holds. He keeps his Marauders alive. He's trading well against the Roaches. Only 2 Roaches survive that. Cure up! Oh, Biles will connect. Good Biles towards the end from Dark. He's just trying to spread creep, trying to get a couple more Ravagers up and running as well. Stim is gonna finish. As Dark once again tries to break through. He does take down 2 Marauders. Big pickoffs for Dark. This time the Marauders were in front of the Marines, which was a bit of a misstep there from Cure. It looks like with these Biles, we finally bring down the bunker. And we have to commit. Stim finishes. Stim does finish up, but we do not have enough, and Dark does break out. He takes control of the high ground. Behind this, Cure is expanding. He's trying to transition. Likewise, so is Dark. And this is still pretty close. Cure, he is ahead in workers. He's heavily oversaturated, but eventually he will take the natural. In saying that though, once Dark has a large enough Ravager army, he can push out, he can break free, and he can even counterattack. And it's going to be a tough hold for Cure. Curious how Dark does approach this. For now, he's just droning. Again, was a very tense moment. Additional Marines are rallied across the map. Now, I don't think that... Basically, I feel like whoever attacks first loses. Like, I feel like if Cure tries to bust up this ramp, it's not going to go well for him. If Dark tries to bust down the ramp, it won't go well for him either. Cure, he does have that high ground vision now with those bunkers. He wants a queen. He sims forward. And he will get on top of the queens. The Biles, they will connect. Barely they graze the army, but we get on top of the Ravagers. They're going down one after the other. Cure, he breaks through. He takes down everything there is left here for Dark. There's 2 Ravagers left. 1 Ravager left. Oh my god, the Ravager will barely survive. And Curie's just trading so well with this. He takes out the final Ravager. Boys are being pulled. Additional Roaches are on the way. They're going to come out just in time. But not before 6 workers go down. And we have reinforcements on the way. And it looks like Cure has done it. He broke the army. He crippled the economy. 8 workers went down. GG gets called. And Cure will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Oh, a very chaotic series. Game 1 was an odd one. Game 1, for Dark to go for a Ling Bane bust. Again, they are very uncommon in this matchup, and he tried to bamboozle Cure, but he was shut down. Here in Game 2, Cure, he was unscouted. Dark was woefully underprepared. Well, he had a late reaction, late scout of the proxy. And eventually he did take control of the natural, but he was just trading a little bit too poorly against the bio army of Cure. And yeah, once he got that high ground vision, once he got the bunker up and running, he was able to break through, able to avoid most of the Biles as well, and just barely break the back there of Dark. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cure. My condolences to Dark, as Dark has been eliminated, and Dark once again was the Zerg representative here of the tournament. Solar wasn't here today. Solar, he's a little bit inconsistent when it comes to his signups. It was Dark waving that Zerg flag, and he has gone down. And now we are yet to determine who faces off against Cure in the finals. So we switch our scene over. Here we go. We have Hero versus Gumiho still mid-series. I don't know what game they're in. I'm uncertain as to what game we're in for that best of series. Let me just try and double check. I think they're in at least game 2. At least game number 2. So we're most likely going to be diving into that. Yeah, they're in game number 2. It looks like Gumiho is leading the series. Oh my god. Are we going to have another TBT finals? We've been having a lot of them recently. We've been having a lot of TBT finals. Is it going to happen again? We'll see. We'll see. So we are going to be going on a short break. And we will either jump into game number 3 of Gumiho versus Hero, or we'll get into the finals, which in that scenario would be Cure versus Gumiho. So we'll see. For now, going to be going on a short break. Hope you all have had a good time so far, and I hope you all enjoy your weekend as well. Still the beginning of a long night of casting. Here on the CranKy Ducklings, we're covering KSL. Later on tonight, we have World Team League. After that, ESL Masters Americas. After that, we have the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. And then after that, we'll have some viewer replays as well. So a long day ahead of us. We have a long night ahead of us here. I mentioned it before, I'm going to try and nap after KSL. In between KSL and WTL, I want to try and get like a couple of hours of sleep if possible. Just so I can have energy for the rest of the night. But we'll see. We'll see if that's going to be the case here. Like, we'll do our best, Papi. We'll do our best. For now, though, again, we're going to be going on a short break. And enjoy yourselves. We'll be back with some more StarCraft right after this. See you soon. Oh my god. Immortal?
Gonna get
Wait,
taken out for free?
What?
No.
It survived?
Yep. Living up to its name.
It's on 4 HP. It has no right to live, but somehow the Immortal
Yeah.
survives. The SCV finished him off. It's got 1 kill. The SCV killed the Immortal.
That is a cinematic goddamn shot.
Oh my god.
SCV atop of a pile of Immortal. Jesus.
Like, that SCV deserves a medal, but like no one's gonna live to tell the tale. Like, no one's gonna be able to survive long enough to let everyone know that that SCV was a hero.
This Overlord, though, if the Overlord positions to the north of Papa Panda Space catches a Mutus, that could give it ample time for Nubinator to react. But I think even with the, like, yeah, they are going to see their Mutus, but I think he just slows down the Hydroden, right, at this stage.
No, here's the thing. Papa Panda is showing the Mutalisks, and now they're making Roaches, so the Roaches are going to be the surprise.
Oh my god, that's actually wild. I love that.
This is insane.
It's beautiful.
I remember you looking very differently, but you know, it's just, I'm not judging.
Yeah, the camera adds £5, even though last time you saw me was with the camera as well. But
Why would the camera pay you? See what I did there? Yeah.
European humor. Hey, like, do you know why it's got 2,000 atmospheres?
Why is it called 2,000 atmospheres, Chase?
Because it's under the sea and there's 2,000 atmospheres of pressure.
But I believe they have their own like studio or like kind of complex where they have all their players rock up and stuff, and it's cool that they do support Ranger the way that they do. Yeah, a lot of the C players, it's cool that they were able to find that support.
Yep. Little community, but very tight knit. It's the best. I love you, Light.
I wasn't expecting that. I love you too, Chase.
Back.
I love you too.
Worst love story than Twilight. Blackburn LE. What does LE stand for, Light? What's it stand for?
LE stands for Liquid and Danger. What does that mean, Chase?
Ellie was my first high school crush.
Oh my god. Why do you keep bringing her up? Why do you keep bringing her up, Chase?
I'll let her go, bro.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for cutting that duct tape short, but we have returned with the ace match of the upper semifinals. We already have our finalist confirmed in Cure, and he's patiently waiting for the winner of this very series. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing representing DragonKy Gaming, it is Hero. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. Oh, my apologies. Okay. We have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing his new team, Cloud9. It is Gumiho. Here we go. Oh my god. Gumiho going for a proxy Rax in the natural base of Hero, looking to dive in. This is wild. I mean, the probe should scout this, but because of the positioning of this Rax, does it finish because of the RNG? I feel like the SCV should be able to, yeah, just wedge itself in a really good position, and we have a second probe coming down from the high ground as well. We're going to try and punish this, but alas, the Rax is completing. It's crazy. Again, we're trying to get some better RNG here. We do get to the other side of the wall, and we do manage to... Oh, no! It will not finish. It will not complete. The SCV goes down. We have a second SCV on the way. We're doubling down here, and it looks like we should finish this, but it's going to be delayed. Gateway still actually done here. We're waiting for the Cybercore. There is no Zealots. There is no Zealots, and this Rax will finish. Reaper right in the base of Hero. Oh my god. I have not seen this. I've seen Reaper, Proxy Reaper here towards the left-hand side, but specifically in between the main and the natural, this is a new one for me. Behind this, the SCV does back off, going to be going over towards the top left-hand corner of the map. We have a factory back at home. Are we going for a Proxy Starport or just racing? I think we're racing by Comb. We'll keep our eyes on that SCV. As you do purposely double back. We're going double... Oh, we're going for one base all in. Double factory production. One base all in on the way here for Gumiho. Now, this should be for Cyclone production. We should be seeing some reactors on these factories, and we can make 4 Cyclones at a time. The other thing this could be is mass Hellion production with an armory and a Hellbat push. I'm curious which direction we go in. As there we go. Cyclones are on the way. No add-on back at home. Straight Cyclone instead. Meanwhile, Hero is going for a Twilight Council opener. He hasn't scattered at all. Has no idea what is coming his way. As again, we should be seeing some add-ons here from... The SCV was a little bit stuck. Should be seeing some add-ons here, and there we go. Reactors on the way, so we can make 2 Cyclones here from this pocket. Sorry, from this hidden factory. No add-on back at home. Okay, so we're going to be making 3 Cyclones at a time. Is that going to be enough? Gumiho is also expanding behind this as well, so... Yeah, not quite an all-in. Okay, we have seen, again, double factory, double reactor, 1 base all-ins in TVP. This is clearly not that. This is clearly... We're only making 3 Cyclones instead, which means you have a little bit of excess resources to work with, and we're using that to expand and take another base. Hallucination comes in, sees nothing. Sees the expansion, sees 1 factory. Hero, he may believe that it's a proxy starport. That would make sense. Shield battery here on the low ground. Safety robo behind this as well. With that robo, we can get into earlier immortal production to shut down any kind of ground-based army. And Gumiho is moving out. He is saturating his bases, meeting up with his proxy factory as well. We are up to 5 Cyclones, soon to be 7 Cyclones here from Gumiho. And is this enough to overpower and overcharge? Ooh, Hero, he's going for a 2-gate opener. Oh, sorry, 3-gate. Okay, 3-gate blink into an expansion. How many Stalkers? 8 Stalkers. 1-to-1 with the Cyclones. Oh, we're going mech. That is a 3rd factory on the way. What the hell have we found ourselves in? What are we watching right now? What's happening? I'm shaking my head. Ay. And here we go. The Cyclones are pushing. They have been spotted. They have been seen. And Hero, he collapses on this army. He can focus on the Cyclones one after the other. with all these stalkers, like, what can the Cyclones do? Oh my god. Yeah, GG gets called. GG gets called. Hero shuts it down, and Hero will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Yeah, that looked about right. GG, well played. So, a couple of things. One, I'm pretty sure Gumiho was hoping it was going to be a 2-gate opener, not a 3-gate, so got a little bit unlucky there. Maybe he was also hoping for a Stargate instead of a Twilight Council as well. Unfortunately for Gumiho, Hero did go for a 3-gate blink opener, which means that you do actually prioritize warp bins and you do have an abundance of stalkers to begin with before expanding and taking a 3rd base. So very safe play out of Hero when he does shut Gumiho down. Makes a lot of sense. It does make sense to open up safely against Gumiho. He's a very wild player, as we just saw, and this mass Cyclone build is designed to try to catch a greedier Protoss. Wasn't quite what Hero was up to. GG, well played. Well played, as we have our finalists. Let's go. Vetoes are underway, and we are setting up here for the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5. TVP and predictions will soon be open. And there it is. It is going to be Cure versus Hero. Making sure we get everything set up. And making sure we get those predictions going as well. Finals. Best of 5. PVT. Alright. And yeah, this is going to be really exciting. This isn't the first time we've seen these two duke it out in these online weekly tournaments. They do go back and forth. I believe the last time they faced, I believe Hero did take down Cure. Let me just double check that. We have the technology. We can check. Head to head. I believe it was an ESL Open Cup. I believe it was an ESL Open Cup Asia, as we do check. Yep, okay, there we go. In ESL Open Cup Asia, Cure took down Hero most recently in this week's ESL Open Cup and last week's as well. Before that, Hero was able to take down Cure in KSL in the semifinals, so they have gone back and forth, but more recently, Cure has the advantage. In the most recent 5 series, Cure has won 4 out of 5 times. Before that, closer to the start of the year, it's a lot more heavily in Hero's favor as of last month, basically. But in recent times, Cure has been the favorite between the two. So again, they have their kind of errors here. They have their kind of moments where they spike one way or the other. But again, typically this does go back and forth, and I'm hoping for a good series. I'm hoping for a good best of 5. We're going to be going on a very short break. We most likely won't be able to get through the entire duct tape, but see you guys soon for the finals. Los grand finales, papi, grand finales. I want to also take this moment to get some water. I'm running out of water. Un momento.
Oh. And welcome to Battle for Americas. It is I, Milk and Cookies. Ha! Psych! I'm the host today, not Light. I'm here joined by Light, actually. I had no idea you were counting down. I thought we were still going through that whole, like, oh, you need permission from Ducklings? So I was just like, oh. And I heard your mic beep, and I was like, oh, crap, he undeafened and unmuted himself.
What do you want? I asked you if you're ready. You're like, yes.
I was ready, and then you didn't count down right away. So I was like, and then you left. I was like, oh, I guess he left. Like, we're waiting. And I was like, oh, all right then. No, they got to pick up and go. These medevacs are gonna get cleaned up.
Oh. Yeah, everything's gonna be going down. The Marauder gets sent down and it's running away because it can't shoot up. Get home, buddy. Get home.
And welcome back. Okay, short break. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Very short break here as the videos are done, and we're just diving right into our finals of the Korean StarCraft League, week number 35. It all ends here in this best of 5. And if you're in the chat, if you're in the Twitch chat, predictions will be open. So you have 2 minutes. 2 minutes to place your bets on who you think is going to be this week's champion. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Hero. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Light needs to massage his marine. Ah, true. Aye. Look, it's not a look. You have to take care of your marine, Poppy. Take care of him. Aye. Not like this. As we're getting into this, and game 1 is on Golden Aura. Interesting map here to kick things off. A bit of a shorter rush distance. Does have a secure 3 base setup, but we'll see if we can get that far here as the SCV gets across the map. Oh, a bit of a cheeky SCV. Cure, he was hoping for an eBay block, but the probes are in position. Second probe is thrown down as well, and this eBay should not finish. So far, good reactions out of Hero. He does shut this down, does force the SCV out of here. Again, eBay blocks have been very common, have been very popular in TVP, and Cure was trying to be cheeky here, but Hero, he's wise to it. He will shut this down. Up. Oh. Does force the cancel. Again, we have seen many Terran versus Protoss matchups where if the Terran player is able to force the unnatural natural, they can just go for a 1-base all-in and just pull the Protoss apart then and there. It can be devastating. So Hero is aware of that, and he makes sure that that does not occur. So far, so good. Behind this, Cure did go for a single gas opener, but because of that eBay block, he went for a faster factory. This again shows us that he did want to be aggressive and he did want to try to pull apart his opponent. Alas, that won't be the case. So I would say that Hero is in a better position. Cure, his CC is later than it should be. Again, this factory into an, I imagine, add-on swap won't do as much damage as it should have. This would have been an add-on swap into Hellion production. There we go, Hellions are on the way. But because Hero only has one entryway into his main base and his natural, and he has a Reaper wall up here on the right-hand side, like this Hellion shouldn't really do much damage. Hero should be fine. Adept is moving out. Cure, again, his CC was delayed because of the opener, and we'll see if he can get it up and running. We'll see if he can keep his CC safe from this Adept. And Marines are in position. We have the Hellion as well. So far, we will deflect the army. We will keep ourselves safe. And back at home, we have our tech of choice. It is going to be a Twilight Council from Hero. Going into Blink. Blink is on the way. Not a Stargate, we're throwing down additional gateways as well. So just like how Hero opened up against Gumiho, it's going to be a 3-gate opener, sorry, 3-gate Blink, then a 3rd base. So a delayed 3rd in favor of a more robust army. We're going to have extra Warp-ins, extra Stalkers, a safer opener here from Hero. And a safe opener that can also be a little bit aggressive as well. Not as aggressive, not as aggressive as a 4-gate, but, you know, we're going to have some Stalkers nonetheless. We're going to have map control. Cure back at home, setting up for a Marine drop. Let's go. It is going to be a vanilla Marine drop. They don't have stim, they don't have combat shields, no upgrade, just vanilla Marines. But they can do a lot of damage to probes specifically. So we'll see if Cure can get some damage done as he does move out across the map. We have the drop on the right-hand side. We have the Hellions on the left, which, do get shut down. Good positioning there from Hero. He does come across the drop as well. Getting a couple of hits in. Marines have been revealed. This one Stalker having a hard time. There's no shield battery. Yeah, the boys, they have to be pulled, but so far, good kiting. We take down the medevac. The medevac goes down. We're going to be trading here with some of these pros, but the Stalker, will it live? It barely will. Barely will escape. And this was a good trade for Hero. He lost 3 probes for a full medevac. full of Marines. The Cyclone went down as well. I didn't even see that. The Cyclone went down alongside the Hellion, which we did catch earlier. And Kyora's in a lot of trouble. He invested a lot in that aggression, and he got nothing for it. He got 3 workers and a scout. It was an expensive scout. Behind this, Hero should be expanding. Third base on the horizon. Hero, he isn't counter-attacking. He has Adepts to threaten, but his Stalkers are staying back at home. He's just securing his position. And Cure is contained to 2 bases. Oh, a bit of a misstep there from Hero. He does commit and the Adepts go down. That was a mistake. A rough moment there for Hero. Meanwhile, he is going to be pushing. Raven Harass going to try to come in, but Hero's in position. Oh my god. Raven down to half HP. Stalker's rotating over into the main base. Shield batteries on the way. And Hero is getting ready to go into the main. Now, I feel like we are pretty set up for this. As I say that, we unsiege. The tanks do unsiege, which means the main base is vulnerable. Things are about to get a little bit chaotic. Cure is pushing. At the same time, Hero dives into the main. There's very little to defend back at home, and Cure, he turns back around. He scans the third base. Sees it's up and running. SCVs are getting picked off. It's going to be 5 workers. Cure, he turns back around. He is still committing to his push. And what does Hero have at him? He has a Colossus. He has 1 Colossi. There is no interference matrix. There's no disable. Prism's recalled back home. Yeah, we dive on the army. Tank is going to be going down. We blink on top of everything here. A bold move from Hero, but he should shut this down. Good juggling, good control. And Cure, he has nothing left. Even the Raven goes down. And that is going to trigger a counterattack. Cure, he's going for a desperation double drop. Ideally, this forces a actually, the recall was just spent. Recall is on cooldown. So there's a lot hinging on this double drop. Hero at the same time pushing out. 0 tanks back at home. There's 1 bunker. A couple of SCVs to be pulled. A couple of Marauders. Now that double drop has a lot of potential. But good force fields. The bunker goes down. Marauders are going to be able to force this back. But we're getting so much damage done at the same time. Here comes that double drop, and we can't recall. Hero, he's in a rough position. He's going to be losing his main. He's warping in back at home. His main army is deflected. And he's going to be losing his main. Cure, he's still in this. Oh my god. Cure is very much so in this. He shuts down the Nexus. He can go straight for the Bay. The Bay is going to go down as well. Hero cannot stop this. The boys are being pulled. The Colossus is exposed. We do pick it up. The medevac. Oh, medevac will barely escape as well. Go. And Hero is now in a really awkward position. I mean, both players are in awkward positions. We see Cure getting his 3rd base on location. Hero also getting his 3rd on location as well. Hero may be up 15 workers. This is true. But at the same time, he doesn't have a 3rd base, so he's not really mining efficiently. So I would say that Cure is ahead economically. Cure, he has a better economy for the time being until these bases get back up and running. Hero has the scarier army. He's on 3 Colossi. With Extend Thermal Lance as well. He's going for a massive counterattack, and can he break through? Again, no tanks, 2 Widow Mines, 0 Widow Mines. Boys are being pulled, the Colossi are exposed. But good juggling out of Hero. He does swipe away at those SCVs. We do have a drop into the main. We're going straight for the pylons. Who is it? No. Who is it? No! Enki! No, for a moment I thought it was me. Emil. Feels bad. Enki, he is the Spanish caster. He's a good friend. He's a good friend of the channel. Good friend of mine. I love Enki, but Latin American internet. We have a lot in common here with Australia. Can at times be unstable, and Enki is going to be timing out. We should be able to get him back for the next game. Fingers crossed. Hopefully this is just a momentary lapse in internet. But he'll come back, Papi. He'll come back. Hi, Papi. Ah. Hello, Kronos in the chat. Hello, Kronos. Why in this? Yeah. This is a rough moment. Like, there's so much hinging on this fight. Here we go. We're coming back in. Thank you for the translation, Kronos. Oof. Here we go. The boys are being pulled. The Colossi being juggled. We're up to 4 Colossi. The juggling. So far looking good from Hero. He's down to 4 Colossus. That's all he has left. No, 1 Colossus goes down. We're down to 3. We're down to 2. And this 1 Viking on its own is going to shut down the Prism as well. Cure, he does hold. But he is down to 23 SCVs. 23 workers left, barely an economy. The Colossi, they barely do make it back home. Immortal production has commenced. And Hero is retaking his main, getting his economy up and running. He's getting away with this. Hero, he may not have killed Cure, but he has crippled him. And Cure, he needs some time to get back up. He needs a lot of time. And Hero, he's unrelenting. He's pushing again. He's just not giving Cure the time he needs. Prism into the main. Main army pushing towards the 3rd base. Cure, let him breathe, Papi. Let him breathe. Reactor's going to be going down. We drag a big portion of the army towards the main base. The 3rd is exposed. Not too much anti-air. Only 2 Stalkers, so this base is not under threat. But we do force it to be lifted. The Zealots are cleaned up. Hero, he's rotating around, cleaning up whatever mines he can. Have we rebuilt the bay? We have not. We have not rebuilt the robotic space, so no more Colossi. No more Colossi here from Hero. I just accidentally kicked my desk with my shin. My shin ram here. And here we go. Heroes gonna be rotating around, diving on top of this army as well. Again, no splash damage whatsoever. The Zealots are going hand. The Colossi will eventually go down to the Vikings, but it may not matter. As the Colossi have done their job, they're breaking through. Boys are being pulled once again. They're getting on top of the Immortals even. But we have reinforcing Zealots. And it looks like Cure, he may just barely hold on. But what's he really holding on to? 9 SCVs fell. A lot of the army as well. Oh, the Prism! A misrally out of Hero. But Hero, he's still on 75 workers. His gateway count is low. How many gateways do we have? 8 gates. It's okay. Gonna be warping in 8 units at a time. Cure going for a counterattack. Hero likewise doing the same. The Marines, the SCVs. Cure going for one last ditch effort, pushing across the map, but there is just so much here at home to defend. We do have a bay on the way, as well as a second robo, so we're getting back into Colossus production. And we have anti-air. We can finally start picking away at these medevacs. Going down one after the other. GG gets called, and Hero will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. As Hero will take the first game. But as a reminder, this is a best of 5. I'm aware, I noticed towards the end there that it said best of 3 in game. It's a best of 5. Plenty of games are ahead of us. But that was a wild game 1. That was crazy. There was a lot's going on there. A lot of a back and forth. Very much of a back and forth there between Cure and Hero. Hero initially was defending beautifully. He was shutting down Cure at every turn, shutting down the eBay, shutting down the first drop and the first Hellion and Cyclone push. But then things got really chaotic when Cure went for his own double drop as well. Things were getting rowdy, people were getting rowdy. In the end though, Hero, he maintained his composure. He was able to take it in the end. But that was only game 1, and we still have plenty more ahead of us. So loading into game number 2. go. Game 2 going to be taking place on Oceanborn. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the player currently leading the series 1-0, representing CranKy Z Gaming. It is Hero. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Liquid down in the series, but it was only game 5. Plenty more ahead of us. Looking to fight back, it is Cure. Go. As the SCV once again is going to be moving out across the map, going the long way around, but was spotted by the probe. So Hero, he should be wary of an eBay block. He goes in, does get eyes on the racks. Getting a full scout. And my eyes are on the movement of this SCV. Again, eBay blocking is quite common on Oceanborn, but we're pulling back. We are coming back home. We can see Hero checking. He comes down with additional probes here to shut down an eBay block, but Cure doesn't take the bait. He does come back home. So this is a little bit inefficient from Hero. He's a little bit paranoid about an eBay block, and Cure has been very fond. He's been very fond of engineering bay blocks in this matchup, so I don't blame Hero, but it does mean that he's slightly inefficient, and yeah, he is going to eventually look to expand. Likewise, across the map, Hero is going to just be keeping an eye on Cure, keeping an eye on the tech, as well as, you know, that either factory or CC. Should be a CC, and it's thrown down on the high ground even. I see in the chat, are we going to cast today's WTL? Yes, we're casting WTL later. Yes, credits. We're going to be all over WTL. Don't worry. I know that we missed it last week. We did miss out on a day of WTL last week, but this week we're going to be here for it. We're going to be here. One day of WTL left. As we do have Hero just setting up back at home. Reaper likewise going to be scouting the edges of the map, checking the right-hand side. Again, it was an economic opener here out of Cure. It was a little bit of an awkward setup, but economic nonetheless. Reaper dips into the main, Hero's in position, and we should be soon throwing down our tech of choice. Either a Twilight Council, a Robo, or a Stargate. And there it is. Twilight Council opener here from Hero. Should be getting into Blink. Again, it's a very flexible, very stable way to open up in this matchup. Going for Blink. Now, we'll keep an eye on whether or not we go for 2 gates, 3 gates, or even 4. We did have a 3-gate opener last game. But based on the openings here, based on the economic opener of Cure, and Hero saw it, he should be going for a 2-gate expand. But we'll see. We'll see what Hero decides to go for. Again, if he goes up to a 3-gate opener, it's going to be quite a safe build from Hero, just to be secure. He's checking, he sees the lack of expansion, which is a little bit suspect, not going to lie. But the CC is now going to be floated over. We're going for a mine drop behind this, by the way. Medevac alongside these Widow mines. Hero dips in, he checks. Oh, he still sees the lack of expansion. If only he had just stuck around for 1 second longer. And he throws down a 3rd gateway. Yeah, Hero, he's a little bit afraid. 3rd gateway here is going to delay the expansion of Hero, but it also means he's going to have additional warp-ins. Here comes the mine drop for Cure. Now, there is no armory, or there isn't like a drilling claws or anything crazy like that. It's just a straight up mine drop. 3 Widow mines into the main. Stalkers are getting in position. Blink not quite done. Well, actually, 2 Widow mines into the main. The 3rd Widow mine is waddling in. We are able to react in time. The probes are being pulled. going to be one. That's going to be two probes going down. And the Widow Mine does get into the... Oh, God! Does get into the natural. Oh, no! The mine shot. Oh, the splits! Very last second splits. We barely avoid disaster. 3 probes for 3 Widow Mines. And this mine will not escape. Does not waddle away. But 2 Widow Mines did escape in the main. So we have potential for more damage. We can pop off. We can get even more probes here. As we're already coming back in. Hero, late to react, does blink in time. The mine shots. Getting 2 additional workers before going down, but this is a good amount of damage. I mean, the opener was scouted. I don't believe we saw the robotics bay, but we saw the gateways, the blink, of course, the Twilight Council, lost mining time, 5 workers going down. Good stuff, and we're not done. Here comes the Raven. Raven harassed here into the natural, getting another probe. And Hero is counterattacking. Remember, it was a 3-gate opener with a delayed expansion. The robotics bay delays the expansion even further. But we are well set up here. We have 3 tanks covering the natural and the main. Oh, we dive in, but we're within range of the tanks. Oh, God. That was a rough blink. 2 stalkers for 1 tank. Do we get a depot? Still an efficient trade. Sorry. As we dive into the main base, we do get a tank. Sorry, I was just closing the door. We dive into the main. We get another tank as well. Looking at the unit stat, oh, we did lose 1 stalker there in the process. Not too bad. The observer barely escapes. Barely does get away. But yeah, getting 2 tanks, 3 stalkers so far. Good enough here for Hero. Going for another warp in. Behind this, he's expanding. Remember that Hero, he had to get damage done because of how late his expansion is. And he's going to get a couple of SCVs. He's going to get 1. 1 SCV in the main. Stalker's looking for a drop. Potentially looking to cut one off. Oh, and back at home, Hero, he's chilling. He's slaying, papi. Getting into his Colossi, shield batteries, extend thermal lance on the way, forge for +1. The move out has been spotted. And we will attempt to slow it down. Oh, we do force a stim. Oh, we force a second stim as well there. 1 stalker goes down. We do come in from behind. We get a medevac. Good pickups here from Hero. Cure being forced to siege up. Hero trying to pick up some reinforcements as well. Even commit to a counterattack. We could delay the 3rd base. We do at least get eyes on the 3rd base. Tank is sieging up. And Hero, he's amassing his Colossi. Still only has 1, but a second is on the way. And because so much time has passed, Cure, he turns back around. A very wise choice here from Cure. As he does pivot away, there we go. We have reinforcements coming out, which I believe have been spotted by this observer. Hero, he knows. Here comes the main army. Again, 2 tanks are with this. Big anti-armor missile. Big anti-armor missile on that army. Colossi are doing what they can. Prism comes in. No! A misrally. The Prism's gonna go down. Bit of miscontrol there from Hero. I think that was meant to be the observer. That means he won't be able to threaten a counterattack. That is going to disrupt his robo production as well. 4th base is on the way. I mean, Hero, he's holding. Like, he's not really under any threat of being dove upon. Oh, no! We need detection. Feels bad, man. The armory is done. We don't need to kill it. No! Okay, we're good. We take down the mine. So we're heading for a drop here into the natural. Hero just looking for map control, trying to force back his opponent. Mind Drop comes in. Hero, he does pull away in time. Oh. But these mines are being such a nuisance here for Hero. Cannons are going to be required, more observers, more detection. Widow Mine in the natural does get cleaned up, and now we're going for the main. Meanwhile, because of all this aggression, Cure has been able to get himself up and running. Third base is fully established here. He's been building up his tank count. Because Cure didn't push in, he didn't overextend, and his army is actually insane. He is far ahead in army supply. Just because of how patient he's been, he hasn't been throwing away any of his units, other than Widow Mines, of course. Here we go, another big anti-armor missile. Mine shot is avoided. Army on the right-hand side has been spotted. At the same time, Hero going for a Zealot run by as well. He gets on top of the tank. Will get a tank for his troubles. But things are about to pop off. Okay, so a couple of Colossus have been split off here at the 3rd. The main army's at the 4th. The Raven! Raven does go down. Cure slipping up a little bit. Zealots did get cleaned up. So far, Hero doing a good job at just splitting up his own forces, defending his bases. There is a medevac, but no Widow Mine here into the main. Oh. As Cure is going for a Doom Drop into the main base instead. Goes to the scan. He's going for the production, maybe even the add-ons. Add-ons? Upgrades. As Hero, he does have to react. Probes are going down. Now Hero, he does keep his main army here on the front lines, which is a good thing. Cure, he's threatening it. Mine just going to be going off. One Colossus goes down. Big pickup. One Colossus and 11 workers at the same time. We do push forward and we want another Colossus. He wants it. Doesn't quite get it though. Hero does hold. But you can see Cure just skyrocketing ahead. 4th base now up and running. Cure, he's miles ahead when it comes to his economy. And I don't know if Hero can get this 5th base up and running. Now, thankfully for Hero, Cure hasn't seen it. If he did, he would have denied this base long ago. But he is not aware. Is he gonna check? Cure's pushing in. Likewise, Hero's moving out. We're going for a base trade. There's no turning back from this. We're just sending it, papi. And I feel like this is probably the best case scenario for Hero. Like in a head-to-head fight, I don't know if Hero can really take a fight. Base is going to be going down. Hero trying to bust into the main base, trying to get on top of the production. Turrets are going to be going down. We do get into the main. Likewise, though, Cure getting into the natural base, and probes, they're trying to escape, and it looks like they will. The probes do make it out. Hero, he just needs a little bit more resources to actually start mining, to actually afford a base. As the production is under threat. We are mining here on this hidden base here, and yeah, Hero, he can afford a Nexus. And we're in a really weird place. All right, Units tab. When it comes to the main armies, at this point, I feel like Hero could maybe win a head-to-head fight. Takes down an orbital. The planetary still is standing strong. Another CC is going to go down. Hero, he hasn't scouted. He doesn't know. He doesn't know, papi. He hasn't seen the planetary. Not yet, at least. Mine shot's going to be going off. So both players, they have... each of them have the base up and running. Rax is being hunted down. We do have a hidden base towards the top right, which has been seen. And is going to be cancelled. Meanwhile, Hero, he still hasn't seen the planetary. We're hunting down Raxes. It looks like we're going back home to deal with the main army. But there are so many ghosts, so many EMPs. That's 8 ghosts. The probes, they do come across the Nexus. I'm sorry, the planetary. Hero turns back around. Oh, this is going to get weird. Hero, he can always recall. He can always recall back to his hidden base. He's going to be pushing forward. Cure, does he try to come across this? He does find the prism, and he's following the probes. No, they're leading him to the base. The probes, they lead the army to the main base, and Hero is there. He has to recall back home. The traitor probes. Again, the army supplies are still very close, very neck and neck. Cure, he has production. He's supply blocked, but he's getting his production up and running. He's being forced back. All right, what do we have? We have 7 Ghosts, 4 Vikings. A good chunk of Marines and Marauders against 3 Colossi, 2 Immortals, and 14 Stalkers. I kind of want to favor Kiro's army if he doesn't get EMP'd, but the EMPs, they're going to connect. With 7 Ghosts, it's going to happen. Oh, we're down to 6. Down to 6 Ghosts. Dark Shrine is finishing up. We have DT Blink on the way. That's going to be an interesting one. Oof. EMPs do connect on the Zealots. Yeah, Hero, he cannot engage. Not into that army. There are turrets up and running as well, so Dark Templar aren't going to be super amazing. There is a natural, there's another CC on the way for another base. Mine goes down. You can see Hero just picking off a couple of units here and there, forcing some cancels, getting on top of the production. He doesn't want to overextend, but he will barely get the racks. So far, Hero hasn't lost much. Rotating around, getting on top of the high ground. Massive EMPs, though. We shouldn't commit. Uh-oh. The army has been stinned. We do take control of the high ground. Good force fields. Oh, this was such a risky maneuver here from Hero, but because of the force fields, he does hold on. That's a kill, not a cancel. We're stimming in. Do we have force fields? We don't. Big EMPs covering everything. And Cure, he dives on the army. We're so exposed. It looks like Cure, he will clean this up. No force fields were left. And that's it. That was the army of Hero. He's down to a handful of Stalkers. DTs are on the way, but that's some copium. Dark Templar on the way. Stalkers are going down. We have plenty of turrets here. Like there's nothing for the DTs to do. I mean, to be fair, no orbitals. If we had DTs, we have EMP. That's we're fine. We have EMPs available. Stalkers are going down. Dark Templar are going to try and swipe away, but yep, EMP does take them down. And Cure, he's pushing towards the last base, the last bastion of hope for Hero. GG gets called, and Cure will tie it up 1-1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A chaotic base trade. I do think that was probably the best choice there for Hero. It's just so unfortunate that he missed the planetary. If Hero had seen the planetary earlier, he would have killed it during the base trade, and we would have seen a very different game. To be fair, though, if Cure had also seen the hidden base of Hero, then it also would have been a very different base trade as well. So both players missed very crucial bases, and they allowed for the game to progress and continue. And that did favor Cure at the end of the day. Again, he had the superior army. He had so many ghosts, so many EMPs available. He was able to shut Hero down. And yeah, with that, Hero, the base trade was a nice move and did give him the best chance at coming back. But yeah, for him to rotate around and try to wedge himself towards the northern portion of the map, it was such a risky maneuver and didn't pay off in the end. GG, well played. Well played. We are tied up 1-1. We're getting into game number 3. Here we go. Cure TVP win rate 100% in top level. True, that's why we're tied up 1-1. Ay. Shake it, man. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Solaris. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming. It is Hero. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. Cure does fight back in that last game. Is going to be keeping things even here. But who takes a lead? Who does take a lead in this series? Who is it going to be? Again, winding it all back on Oceanborn. Hero, he was playing very paranoid, if you remember. He did delay his own third base in favor of getting a larger army. He was caught out of position. The drop play of Cure was insane. He was pulling Hero apart. And Hero, he didn't have the best economy leading into the mid-game. He was down 20 workers. It was crazy. But on a map like Solaris, where there are more bases to be taken, I expect Hero to be able to have an easier time keeping up with the economy of Cure. And keeping up in the mid-game. At least I hope so. As for now, we have our gate expand. Likewise, Cure going for a double gas opener. For the first time this series, Cure, he doesn't send out an SCV, he doesn't threaten an eBay block. Is going for a faster... is going for a faster factory instead. Again, double gas leads into a faster factory. Delayed CC here from the Terran. Much more aggressive start here from Cure. And we'll see where that aggression leads. We'll see where it takes us. As for now, we are just settling into this. Getting into our expansions, we have our tech of choice once again every game so far. Hero, he's going for a Twilight Council opener. Going to be working towards that blink. As Cure is going to just be threatening here. Going to be a little bit imposing here at the natural. Going to be denying some mining time as well, but the Adept is able to keep up. Cure trying to outposition Hero here, and he does get into the main. So far hasn't killed any workers, and yeah, he's going to be zoned back. Yeah, just a bit of a skirmish in the early game. Cure behind this, getting into a mine drop. A much faster mine drop compared to the previous game. Widow mines, and there we go, medevac in production as well. So things are about to pop off. For now, things are like calming down a little bit. But Cure is soon gonna go for that drop play. He also has the Reaper and Hellion still alive, so he can go for a drop into the main and also threaten the natural with this ground army. He has potential. We are just going to be establishing ourselves. Once at 3 games in a row, Hero is going for a 3-gate blink. I'm not too sure how I feel about it. I mean, against Cure's build specifically, I guess it works out, but Hero hasn't been scouting. He has no idea what is in the main base of Cure. I guess he saw the Hellion. So he's aware it's not going to be a 3-max. But here we go, the aggression of Cure has arrived. We have the drop into the main, we have the push towards the natural. SimCity looking good. We should be able to wall off. But do we have enough in the main base? As here comes the drop. Widow mines are going to be borrowing. We do react in time. We do pull away. Up. Oh, we dive on that medevac. At the same time, the Reapers and the Hellions, they get into the natural base. Adepts also make it into the main of Cure. Probes and SCVs are going to be going down. But the probes, they light up. They do line up. 6 workers going down. Adepts are doing what they can across the map. They're trying to keep up. As both players are being cleaned up here. 4 SCVs fell for 8 probes. Cure coming out ahead. Oh, that one adept. Up. Gonna get another SCV. Not bad. And now Hero is gonna be pushing. Meanwhile, just like last game, it's a mine drop leading into some Raven harass. Auto turrets are on the way. Hero gonna apply some pressure here to the natural, but there's a bunker in position and a tank as well. Oof. Hero cannot push in. And Cure is just all over him. Getting some more probes. 2 more. And Hero, this feels pretty committed. It feels like he knows he's taken too much damage. We have sentries for force fields. And it looks like we're looking to go for the main. But a second tank has arrived. We're going to rotate around. Second tank getting in position. Observer goes down. Force fields are looking good here. We do slice up the Marines. But there's just too many of them. Too many Marines. The tanks are getting in position and Hero is being shut down. Ay. And unfortunately, behind this Hero, he doesn't have his third base. Didn't throw it down. Auto turret harass continuing, getting 5 more probes. Third base has been spotted, is going to be delayed. Is going to be delayed by that auto turret. There's just so much pressure here on Hero to get damage done, but he just can't. Like Cure, he's just so well set up. And again, a lot of this comes down to the opening build of choice of Hero. Not like this. The auto turrets, they continue. Getting even more economic damage done. And Cure, he isn't going for a 2-base all-in. He's throwing down a third CC behind this. So he's macroing. Looking to get into the mid-game. And he's just done a great job at crippling the economy of Hero and taking a lead. Hero behind this is getting into Colossus. Dives on top of the tank. He will get it. Something going Hero's way. Getting one tank is nice. The Observer goes down. We got a double jump going towards the main. There's nothing here, by the way. It may force a recall. Oh! Oh my god, the medevac barely escapes. It was an ambitious dive from Hero, a dive that wasn't worth it. Stalkers are going down. We can't afford these losses. Not like this. There's even less to recall. And here comes that double drop. Prism is coming back home. Colossi have arrived, and Hero, he's going to be backing up from here. Sorry, Kira's going to be backing up from here. But for the most part, he has been in control this game. Out of all games so far this series, Kira is just so on fire here against Hero. Like this is Kira in the zone. Like he's definitely got so much momentum going right now. Hero is pushing. At the same time, Kira is setting up for a mine drop into the natural and a double drop into the main. He is a little bit vulnerable because of that, but his tank line is still looking solid. We've got turrets, Vikings, tanks, mines, and a bunker as well. Can Hero break this? We have a fake War Prism going into the main, trying to distract Cure. The main army pushes right through the center. Mines are going to be going up. The Zealots get annihilated. Boys are being pulled. And Cure, he does hold. GG gets called. Cure, he will take game number 3, taking a lead in this series. GG. GG, well played. Very powerful play there out of Cure, and specifically because of the opener, because of the build of Hero, there was a lot of pressure on Hero to actually get some counter damage done. Not just that, there was a lot of pressure on Hero to minimize his losses and get damage across the map because he was delaying his own economy. He was laying his own third base. And it just wasn't good enough. I mean, he got, what, 5 SCVs as he was losing 8 back at home. He dove in with his Stalkers. There was so much pressure on Hero to trade in some way, and he just couldn't. He just couldn't get on top of the tanks, couldn't get into the mineral line. Cure was just so well set up. He shut it down. GG. And with that, Cure is 1 game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. Hero needs to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It's all on Hero. Can he give us another game? Personally, as a caster, give me more games. Regardless of how this goes, I would love to see an ace match, but we'll see. Not up to me, 'tis up to Hero. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Dragon KZ Gaming down in this series, but looking to fight back. It is Hero. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran, with arguably the best TVP in the world, one game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. It is Kyor. Oh boy, the pressure is on. Hero needing to fight back. Hero now. So far, going to be getting into the main, just getting a full scout. Does get eyes on the racks expand. Single gas here from Kyor. And here is just going to make sure that that's the case. Just going into the main base, confirming whether any additional gases are soon to be taken. Make sure everything is on the up and up. Again, we are loading into Site Delta. Site Delta, of course, has a much more secure natural base. One of the few maps in the map pool with a ramp leading into the natural. So that much more difficult to really push in. And as a result, we do get a lot of mid-game play here. There is a potential for 4-gate blink, but we haven't seen that from Hero yet this series. Again, so far, every game, Hero has gone for 3-gate blink into a delayed third. What I mean by that is a faster bay. 3-gate blink into a bay, then a third base. Again, it made sense against Gumiho when we saw him open up in such a fashion against a much more aggressive Terran player. But here against Kyor, like Hero, he's just been falling behind in the mid game, just time and time again, just with the worst economy. Of course, Hero does confirm the timing of the CC. He's aware of the economic opener from his opponent, and we should be seeing an economic opener as well from Hero. Well, we'll see. Now, gate time expands. Warp gate is on the way. Other probe is going to be zoned away. Is going to be hunted down. We are just settling into this. We'll see if if Kyor does mix things up on his side of the map. He is going for a Hellion. Should just be a Hellion to scout into Widow Mines once again. Now Adept does take control of the low ground, and we're going to be denying some mining time. Not too much, but the SCV is zoned away. And it should be brought down as well. Oh, the Jukes! Kyor pulling back, saving the SCV. Reaper moves out as well. Sorry, Hellion moves out as well. We are not going for... Yeah, we're not going for Widow Mines. We're actually getting into a Cyclone. Okay. Do have my attention, but an early Cyclone here for an earlier... Or for a very different kind of drop from Kyor. Mixing it up. No Widow Mines this time. Meanwhile, Hero back at home is going for a Blink opener, and once again, 3-gate blink. Every game so far has been quite fond of this. Oh, that's not 3-8s. That is anything but. That is going to be a 4-gate blink opener, so I was in my mind, it was like, okay, we're either going to go a little bit greedier this time or more aggressive. And we're doubling down on aggression. 4-gate blink out of Hero for the first time this series. He's going to be working with an abundance of Stalkers. His goal here is to break his opponents, to bust into the main. This is not all in. You do still expand behind this, but very aggressive. Very aggressive here by Hero. And so far, Kyor hasn't scouted.
Complete.
He doesn't know. He was just about to go for a Marine drop, but he was forced back because of the Adept. Well, speaking of, Adept getting into the natural, keeping Kyor's attention back at home. Does eventually go down. Behind this, Kyor has a tank at the natural, no tank in the main, not yet. We're prioritizing Raven production with that interference matrix. Uh-oh. That is not going to help against this. As Hero is pushing. And we're just going to be waiting a little bit longer here for another warp in. Again, 4 gateways in total. And we need another tank. We actually go for an add-on swap. Uh-oh. We go for an add-on swap instead. Only 1 tank to defend, no bunker. And Hero, he's going to go to town at the natural base. He takes down the one and only tank for Cure. So far, the blink control is good. Up. Big anti-armor missile. Is going to zone Hero away, but he's just going for another warp in. And with, again, no bunkers, no tanks, how does Cure hold this? It's going to be a miracle if he does. Yeah, the boys are being pulled once again. Good blink so far out of Hero. SCVs are falling one after the other. Good juggling with the prism as well. Is going to be bleeding out a couple of stalkers. It's going to be 2 stalkers for 15 SCVs. Well worth it for Hero. He's crippling the economy and he's not done. A tank is being rebuilt in the main as we did add-on swap, but it may just be too late. So we dive into the natural waste, getting even more SCVs at the same, sorry, even more Marines at the same time, getting SCVs in the main. 22. Ay. Again, Hero, fun fact, he didn't even know what the production was looking like for Cure. Things just happened to work out for him in the end. As things are getting out of control in the main. Oh no, the move command! The move command. Big mistake from Hero. But he should still have enough. He should have still dealt enough damage. GG gets called. We are going all the way to game 5 as Hero forces the ace match. GG. GG, well played. Again, Cure happened to he himself be cutting tank production. He only made 1 tank, going into additional Ravens, getting into interference matrix, just completely shifting gears. And Cure, he was caught with his pants down. He wasn't able to scout either. He didn't confirm how many gateways there were. So this was the ideal scenario for Hero. This is like the stars aligned and everything was perfect for him. Like, there was no bunker that he had to deal with. There was no 2nd or 3rd tank or even 4th tank. Just a bio army and SCVs. So Hero, he was able to just snowball out of control. And now we have a game 5. Now we're going to the ace match. We are going to that ace match. That was almost like a build order loss for Cure, just because, again, he was just blindly getting into the mid game. He had no idea what he was up against. Just taking a bit of a risk and being punished for it. I don't blame him because Hero hadn't been going for 4-gate blink this entire series, but did all change in game 4. And here we go. We're getting into game 5. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Dragon Kaizi Gaming. It is Hero. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. It all comes down to this. The final game of this series, the final game of the tournament of KSL week number 35. There can only be one champion. Will it be our Terran or our Protoss? It all comes down to Hecate. For now, Hero, he's scouting. He's looking for a proxy. Wants to make sure he doesn't get bamboozled. He doesn't get done dirty. Just making sure that there is no proxy here at any of his 3rd base locations. Just making sure that everything is as it should be. As Cure back at home, going for a Rax Expand. Economic opener here from our Terran player. And we'll see kind of where our builds diverge. We haven't seen a single Stargate opener out of Hero. Not a single Stargate, no Oracles, no Phoenixes, no nothing. Just been purely about those Blink Stalkers. Gonna be a little bit annoying. This is working quite well. This is a big delay on the CC. Oh, we up to 500, soon to be almost 600 minerals there. So a big delay on this CC. Quite an annoyance from Hero. delaying it for a couple of seconds. As Kira does get into his opener. This also confirms for Hero as well that it is economic, so doesn't have to worry too much about what comes next. It could be a 1-1-1 variation. So Hero, he's not fully aware of the follow-up, but the probe is coming back in just to be a little bit more annoying. But the Marine comes out. Up. The Marine arrives just in time. And it should shut down this probe. Eventually. Oh, never mind. Good control out of Hero. At the same time, Reaper gets into the main. One probe goes down. Very nicely done. Shield battery finishes up 1 second too late. But likewise, the Adept arrives. We commit to the Shade. Up. The Marine goes down to the probe. It gets its revenge. We delay the CC. The probe goes down, but we get 2 SCVs. And a further delay on that expansion. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, Kira across the map, trying to pick off whatever workers he can as well. Did get 2 probes with this Reaper so far. He is going to be threatening that natural. Back at home, it's going to be a 1-1-1. Hero sees the factory at least. He's aware of the factory production. Now, for all he knows, it could be a delayed starport, and it could be a 3-1 setup. But we can see that it's just going to be a mine drop follow-up. As the Reaper dives into the main, confirms the tech, gets eyes on the Twilight Council, sees it researching. Making sure that there's no weird Dark Shrine. And we do have a second gateway on the way. Are we fine on a map like Hecate? Are we finally going to be getting a 2-gate opener into a 3rd? Gib. Okay, never mind. It's going to be 3 gates. At least 3 gateways. Oh, rough position for that shield battery. It actually does trap a probe. So a little bit unfortunate. Some wasted resources here from Hero is going to shut this down. And will feed a probe. Meanwhile, the Adepts say, commit to the Shade. We don't get too many SCVs. We get 1. We get a 2nd. We can maybe get a 3rd. 3 SCVs for 2 Adepts. It's an okay trade. Not ideal. As the mine drop is moving out. And only 2 winter mines. Not the most committed mine drop. Across the map, Hero just trying to get a read on what's happening. Denied entry into the main base. Reaper will... Cyclone will shut down this Adept. We do commit to the main. Blink is done! Ooh. Medevac goes down the mines. They will barely burrow. 1 probe for 2 mines. Not worth it here for Cure. Hero does shut him down. And because it's a 3-gate opener, Hero is going for a counterattack. This time with an abundance of Stalkers. Didn't lose or barely lost any workers. Prism is on the way. We're going. We are sending it across the map. What do we have at home to defend? We have a bunker on the low ground. We have a tank on the high ground. 2nd tank is in production. Thankfully, we're not cutting tanks this time. Kira is playing safe. The army has been spotted. And Cure is getting ready. His tank is unsieged, ready to rotate towards the south if he needs to, towards the low ground. Hero should be expanding behind this. 3rd base is on the way. 3rd base has been delayed for the bay once again. And we dive in. Tank is going to go down. Big pick off. The Marines not quite in position. The bunker at least stands strong. We're going to be trading 1 tank for 1 Stalker. As Hero rotates around towards the main base, that tank is looking exposed once again. He wants it! He goes right for it, and he's going to trade 1 tank for 1 Stalker. Up. 2 Stalkers. Barely 2. Overall, efficient trades for Hero. Resetting the tank counts. Getting towards the natural as well. Getting some SCVs. At the same time, auto-target harass into the main. Ooh, late reaction from Hero. Probes are going down and still no expansion. Hero just commencing Colossus production. Just so aggressive here from Hero. And that's Hero. And he will barely get the bunker. God, Hero, he's barely breaking through, but a second tank arrives, and he does need to respect these tanks. He will back off. Third CC on the way for Cure. Hero, this third is so late. He's getting it now. Can he delay the CC? Can he delay the expansion? It looks like he cannot. Oh. Colossus does arrive. Like Hero, he's just being hyper aggressive, and he's so close to making it worth it, but also so close to throwing it all away. Loving the bait there for the tank shot. But now with 2 tanks, like we need to back off. Do need to back off. Double Forge behind this. Raven looking for some more probe kills. The Colossus drop into the natural. Oh my god. Taking a lot of hull damage, actually. That's a little bit concerning. Does get 7 SCVs. Does recall back home. Hopefully that hull damage doesn't turn around and bite him later on. As a Hero, he is just going to be backing off. He's going to be trying to solidify himself on his 3 bases. Cure, likewise, getting up to his own 3rd base as well. Cure has a pretty comparable economy. I would even say that Cure has a better economy than Hero at the moment, outside of being oversaturated. And once Cure can land his 3rd base, he is going to be getting ahead economically. Quite solidly, actually. Again, with how aggressive Hero was being, he needed more damage. As a result, things are still pretty neck and neck. We're getting our 3rd Colossus. That Raven still poses a threat, and the Stalkers are at least splitting up. Cure gonna be landing his base here over at the linear base location. We're up to 4 tanks. Vikings. Dark Shrine is on the way. This is a way for Hero to come back. DT Harass can do quite a lot. On top of that, we also have started Disruptor production. Disruptors are on the way. We've got up to 4 oh my god, 4 Colossi. But now starting up Disruptors. And again, even though Hero is going to be down in supply, Disruptors can help make up for that. 1 or 2 juicy Novas and Hero can take a fight. As Cure, he's just walling off, turtling up, securing his 3 bases. Auto Harass comes back in. Raven will go down, but the Raven has paid for itself. We get 4 probes. Oh, Hero diving into the main. Nothing quite in position here. Cure, he is out of position, has to stem forward from his 3rd base. SCVs are going down. Lost mining time as well. Hot pickup. And Hero gets the hell out of there. Got that Prison Bee zooming. Dark Templar on the way. Do we have any turrets? We have 1 turret here at the natural. We have a turret here in between the bases. Yeah, we're fine. The DTs waddle in, but they shouldn't get anything done. Yeah, they do get shut down. Now, there's always potential for Dark Templar later on. Always potential. But for now, Cure, he's getting turrets, making sure he's safe and sound. And we're getting into the mid-game. For the first time, we're getting into a proper mid-game. The last time the game lasted this long, we ended up in a base trade, and that shouldn't happen here. We should have more of a back and forth. I still want to give the edge to Cure. Cure, he still has the better economy. As a result, he has the slightly better army as well. But everything can change with these Disruptors. God, we're going for Disruptor drop harass. This is so risky. There are Vikings, by the way. Here, he wants the main army. Gonna try and sneak in. Gonna try and sneak up on this. And so far, Cure, he hasn't seen this. He hasn't seen the Prism. Again, a really risky maneuver here from Hero. He's going for it! Up! Novas go up! Ooh, big connection. A juicy Nova. One of them does connect, but that was 2 disruptors going down. Was that worth it? At the same time, here comes the double drop. Pushing towards the left-hand side. Hero is completely out of position. The mineral line is going to be going down, and from here, Cure can back off. Ooh, 1 medevac does fall. But that is 13 dead probes. And Cure, he maintains his economic lead. Hero, we gotta push. We gotta go. He's trying to find this army. Trying to find these Marines, but he just barely doesn't. Back at home, pushing up the ramp into these tanks is going to be so difficult, but the Zealots are getting to the main. Hero tries to push through the center, but he cannot. As reinforcements are dragged back to the main base. Massive tank volleys going off. And we barely don't get the Colossus, but the Disruptor goes down. We're down to 1 Disruptor. Stalkers are trying to come in from behind. Ugh. They don't quite get much damage done. So let's say drop into the natural base, and they're gonna get cleaned up. They get a couple of SCVs. 8, 9 SCVs go down, but Cure still has a worker lead. Plus mules. So Cure, he's still ahead economically. And Hero, he has to back off. He knows that he cannot push up this ramp. He cannot push up into this defensive position. And if he tried to, he would lose his army. Now, this is where we can be aggressive. Cure is taking a 4th, and here on Hecate, your 3-base setup is very secure, but the 4th is exposed. Now it's going to try and be annoying. At the same time, the main armies are clashing. We just blink forward. Oh my god. Good Novas. They take down the Ghost. Take down the Vikings as well. That was such an ambitious move from Hero, but it paid off. At the same time, though, not the first time Hero's been out of position, and the army has been spotted. Hero's rotating. The army is being dragged back home. This SCV run by doing so much for Hero. Even getting a tank. Hero, we're gonna try and push in the Unsiege! The Unsiege at the wrong time. Still looking for a way in, still trying to find a way up these ramps. Mine shot not going to be going off. Vikings overextending, 2 of them go down. Big pickoffs here for Hero. Tanks are repositioning, CC does complete. Hero rotating around. Again, still looking for another way in. Cure, he's keeping up. He does have significantly less tanks at this 4th base. There's only 1 tank within range. Hero, he's going for it. Well, we have a surround. Never goes off, does not connect. We have an army coming in from behind. Ooh, big connections on the Ghosts. EMPs will land as well. And this is going to be a rough trade for Hero. He loses far too much. The surround was just so on point. We shut down the Colossus, the Disruptors as well, and Hero, he barely has anything left. Cure out positioning him, just so well set up for Hero to push up the ramp. The bait was real. The bait was real, and now Hero, he's down to a handful of Stalkers and 1 Disruptor. Reinforcements are on the way. A Hail Mary play with those DTs. EMPs connect. And that's going to be all she wrote here. Hero was able to keep up, but again, he lost his economy earlier. His economy was crippled. His opener as well. He was looking for more damage. He was so committed, so aggressive at the start of the game, and it just wasn't worth it. And Cure snowballed out of control. Went to the ace match, went all the way to game 5, but GG gets called, and Cure will be this week's KSL champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Cure. Congratulations, as he does take down Hero. Went all the way to game 5, went all the way to the ace match, but he does snowball out of control. And my condolences to Hero. Did go far in this tournament, did make it to the finals, but barely could not keep up with Cure at the end there. Again, that final game was brutal. Like, Hero, he was just so committed in the early game. Remember, we pointed out how late his third base was, and it wasn't worth it. Hero fell behind in the economy, and that translated into Cure having a much larger army, having so much more to work with. And yeah, Hero did fall behind as a result. That's also why, if you remember, Hero went for a Dark Shrine and went for the Disruptor drop. Like, Hero, he knew that he had to try to do something crazy to equalize and come back in that game. So was crazy going for the Disruptor drop, and it was kind of worth it. He connected with one Nova, but he also lost his Disruptors, and he was never able to really build up a large enough count to constantly zone back the army. GG, well played. And towards the end there, towards that final fight, again, the setup from Cure was beautiful. For him to have such a large bio army hidden towards the north, getting ready for the surround, and just securing that win, securing that fight. Really good setup. Really good setup there from Cure. GG, well played. And with that, that is the end of the KSL this week, of the Korean StarCraft League. If you enjoyed the tournament, if you enjoyed the broadcast, if you want to support the Korean StarCraft League, !KSL. !KSL in the chat, and that will give you a link to the Patreon of this tournament. I believe !Matcherino will also give you a link to the Matcherino page as well. So there are a multitude of ways to support this tournament. Patreon is to fund the series, Matcherino is to fund this specific tournament, this specific weekly. So if you do want to support the Korean scene, you can do so there. Replay packs are provided, and you're also allowed, I believe, certain tiers are allowed to cast. Regardless of who you are, you can like come in live and you can get into some of these games and watch from your own POV as well. I believe that may be a reward. Regardless, GG. GG, well played. Hope everyone enjoyed themselves. And this is merely the beginning. This is merely the beginning of a long weekend of casting. KSL now in the books, and we're going to be back in a couple of hours with World Team League. Let me just quickly double check. I say a couple of hours. It is in 6 hours time. 6 hours. Plenty of time to rest up, to even nap. I am very tempted. I'm going to try and force myself to sleep. I'm going to... WTL is in 6 hours. I'm going to try and force myself to sleep, and hopefully I can be well rested for WTL, because it isn't just World Team League tonight. It's World Team League into ESL Masters Americas, into Tenacious Turtle Tussle, into a viewer replay cast. So we have a back-to-back broadcast going on, and yeah, because WTL is in 6 hours, I'm gonna try and get a little bit of rest there for at least a couple of hours. That's my plan anyway. Whether I can, well, we'll see. Whether I can sleep, I'll do my best. But yeah. So again, plenty going on here on the CranKy Ducklings this weekend, as there always is. And if you enjoyed this broadcast, again, this is a weekly tournament. Every single week we are live with the KSL, with the Korean StarCraft League. So if you maybe can't tune in for the rest of the weekend, then be sure to be here next weekend for some more KSL. If you can't tune in live, if you want to tune into some of the VODs, then we do have VODs available on our YouTube channel. We're also live on our YouTube channel as well. So !YouTube in the chat. Is WTL casted from replays? Only if the players aren't available. So last night when we casted WTL, there were a couple of matches that were casted by replays, just because Max Pax and Spirit, and Nice, the three of them were competing in the ESL Masters, and ESL Masters is overlapping with WTL. So because they had ESL Masters matches scheduled, they did play ahead of time, and they did submit replays, specifically, but they were the only players. Everyone else was playing live. So WTL is only by replays if players have like conflicting schedules and there's just too much going on. Which does happen sometimes. But yeah, with that, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for the support. I thought I saw them playing in the ESL. Yeah. All good. WCL, they're accommodating in that respect. Like if you know ahead of time that you're gonna have like some conflicting schedules, then players, they do play, like a day beforehand and submit replays, all that good stuff. But yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Not too sure who, but we'll find someone. Find someone to send our love to. Give them a chance. Give them some support. Again, if you enjoyed the broadcast, if you want to follow us, !socials. Socials in the chat, and you will get a link to our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We're all over the place. We even have like a Mastodon and a Blue Sky if you're interested in that as well. And yeah, you'll be notified when we go live. Again, busy weekend up ahead for the CranKy Ducklings, as it always is. And not just here on the CranKy Ducklings, but ESL Masters. The finals of ESL Masters is in a couple of days for all the regions, for Asia, for Europe, and for Americas as well. So make sure you're a part of it. It's a big event for the StarCraft scene, for the foreign scene as well. So make sure you're a part of it. Make sure you're there. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing broadcast. And yeah, with that, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Thank you so much for your support. We'll see you guys in 6 hours for some WTL. Until then, hasta luego. Bye. 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 Bye.